checked. Start streaming checkbox. Unavailable. Stop recording checkbox checked. Stop streaming checkbox checked.
Alright. Hello, hello, hello. Looks like we should be live. But just in case, I am going to also check on my phone, and I'm going to check if Firebot is reading the chat messages. And once that's all done, then we should be good to go, and I'll start talking about what we're going to be doing today. So let me just go ahead and do that, and then I shall be back in a few moments. Alright, just testing that my mic is working as well, just in case. Well, looks like Firebot's not working. That's not good. It's not reading out the chat messages. So let me check
Firebot V5 assist for KDN. Firebot V5 dialog clickable. Menu bar menu clickable maximize clickable Firebot button navigator link events link time base link chat link link command link 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 7 button heading level 1 dashboard 002 clickable notification center clickable login and profile manage main landmark clickable button edit stream info button open stream pre-separator button add custom quick action set heading level 2 chat users broadcaster button CPT kit clickable CPT kit 535 test streamer message to stream edit button chat set clickable activity feed collapse visited submenu link.
It's definitely receiving the chat
dialog
messages.
menu item submenu help out of menu clickable close Firebot button navigators link commands link events.
Let's see.
Link command link events. Link from traders. Link commands. Traders. Link command link events. Link time based. Link channel rewards. Link preset effect. Link hot. Link com manage. Link effect. Link 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 selling button button heading level 1 events. Button connections. Button heading 03082. Clickable login and profile main landmark button menu button collab event sets. Button new event set. Button stream TT button currently active. Button stream TTS. Button event set options. Button new event. Button event set up. Button currently active. Button events. Button menu visited link deactivate. Button visited link rename. Button visited link duplicate set. Button visited link delete set. Button visited link copy events. Button visited link paste event S out of menu button new event. Button simulate event. No event saved. User made button simulate event. Button Firebot 5.60.1 document. Button simulate event. Sim clickable button time. Heading level 4 simulate event. Select an event to simulate the test event. Button select box activate. List dispatch unlocked switch. Switch when your robot sends and dispatch unlocked. Switch when someone unlocks and card redemption. Stream moves when some category changed. Select box focus menu button submenu editable blank. Blank. Clickable dialog clickable. List dispatch unlocked switch. With card redemption stream move category change. Category channel goal progress switch. With channel charity campaign chat message spotlight Firebot chat mode change switch when someone just purchase stream community subskip currency update 5 custom variable created 5. Select box focus menu button submenu editable. Force event run. Checkbox not checked. Button simulate. Blank main land button new event. Button simulate event. No event saved. User no event saved. Button new event. Button event set options. Button currently active. Button stream TTS. Button new event set. Button stream T. Button new event button currently active button event set options button new event button simulate event menu button collapse submenu all events search event edit table with 10 row column 2 name column 3 type column 4 tag column 5 column clickable row 2 column 1 button test name column 2 read chat column 1 button test name column 2 read chat
Yeah, it's just not reading.
Column 3 chat message with tag column 4 column 5 active column 6 button open context menu row 3 column 1 button test name column 2 channel reward redemption TTS column 1 row 2 column 6 button open context menu button column 5 active tag column 4 type column 3 chat message with name column 2 read chat column 1 button test row 1 column 5 column 6 clickable name type tag column 4 column 5 active luxury column 6 button open context menu menu visited link edit. Visited link disable event. Visited link edit. Clickable button code heading level 4 edit event. Heading level 4 read chat. Heading level 3 trigger on. Button select box activate. Menu button submenu editable. Heading level 3 name. Enter name edit. Heading level 3 filters. Only trigger is event clickable all filters tab. Button username. Button is not. Button guide dog button link. Button. Heading level 3 settings. Is enabled. Checkbox checked. Custom cooldown. Checkbox not checked. Heading level 3 2. Clickable button not set. Button test effects. Button open effects. Clickable button 1. Text button open effect menu. Button add new effect. Button delete event. Button cancel button. Button cancel button. Button clickable button open effect menu. Button 1. Text to speech. Button close button. Save button. Button delete event. Button add new effect. Button cancel buttons. Button clickable button open effect menu.
Open effect
Button menu visited. Button visited link edit effect. Out of menu out of clickable edit test effect. Clickable open effect menu. List with two items visited link edit event slash text to speech. Out of list current effect. Text to speech. Button change. Heading level 4 text. Enter text edit multi-line dial edit button $bars. Heading level 4 voice. Menu button expanded submenu unknown voice.
Oh, it says unknown voice. That would probably explain
List with 4
why.
items visited link default. Visited link Microsoft David English. United visited link Microsoft Bard English. United visited link
This is
Microsoft David
making
English. United States.
Microsoft David.
Link visited.
I don't really care what
Dialogue.
voice
Out of
it
list
is
menu.
unless it, as long as it actually
Menu button cancel button save.
reads
Save
things.
button. Dialogue clickable. Land.
Okay, let's test again. I'll just send another thing to the chat. Yeah, it's still not working.
Land. Dialogue. Clickable close button. Heading level 4 read chat. Heading level 3 trigger on. Button select box and menu button sub. Heading level 3 name. Enter name edit read chat. Heading level 3 filters. Only trigger clickable all filter. Button username. Button is not. Button guide dog. Button link. Button. Heading level 3 settings. Is enabled. Checkbox checked. Custom cooldown. Checkbox not. Heading level 3 effects. Q. Clickable button test effects. Button open effects menu. Clickable button 1. Text to speech. Button open effect menu. Button add new effect. Button delete event. Button cancel button save. Button cancel button save. Save button. Dialogue.
Maybe maybe because I needed to save it.
Land. Menu bar menu items menu item clickable close. Firebot. Button con navigation triggers. Link command link event link counters.
I'm sorry, guys.
Out of list name and button. Column 5 act column 4. Column 5 active.
I don't do this often enough
Type
to
name column 2 follow.
really know my way around.
Column 1 button test. Row 9 column 6 button open context menu. Button.
Firebot
Column 5 active. Tax column 4. Type column 3 raid. Quiz.
stuff.
Out of table dialog. Find dialog. Select. Find name button stream TTS. Button currently active. Button event set options. Button new event. Button simulate event. Menu button collapse submenu all events. Button simulate event. Button Firebot V5 point clickable heading level 4 simulate event. Select an event to simulate the test any effects event. Button select box activate. List with dialog. Select box list. This badge unlocked with card redemption category channel goal progress channel charity campaign. Charity chat message spotlight Firebot chat message which when someone chats in your channel not selected. Which when someone chats in your chat message spotlight. Firebot when you choose this chat mode change. Fire chat message when someone chat message. Select box focus menu button sub. Force event run. Checkbox not check username. Enter text edit. Message text. Enter text edit. Enter text. Message text. Enter text edit. Enter. Message enter text edit. Button simulate. Clickable dialog clickable.
Oh.
Test.
I think we finally got it. Let me try with an actual message.
CPT kip.
Yes. Okay. We got it. Cool. Just stop the playback on my phone. And I'm gonna just also send out something on Mastodon. This looks good. And it's been posted. Alright. So I guess I should probably
Dialog clickable menu item sub menu edit menu item clickable Firebot button con navigation and traders link commands traders link dashboard link.
PilotEdge, sorry, not on Pilot, on Firebot. But yeah, so PilotEdge is what we're doing today. Well, we're going to be doing a flight in back here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to be flying from Denver all the way over to Las Vegas. Should be about a 1.5 hour flight, 1 hour 15, 1 hour 30 minutes, something like that. And we'll be doing this flight on the PilotEdge network. Now, let me quickly explain the last flight that we did when I last streamed, which I know it's been too long. It was about 3 months or something, I believe. Last flight we did was on the VATSIM network, and
Colorado, United States.
you know, VATSIM is as I already I believe I also kind of explained it a little bit in the previous video. You know, VATSIM is an international network of volunteers it is a live ATC simulation network, and we're flying as a pilot. There are people on there who are acting as controllers, and these people are volunteers. VATSIM is free. You can just go and sign up. You can donate to VATSIM, but apart from that, it's free, and you can just go and join it as long as you have a relatively good understanding of your aircraft and ATC phraseology. PilotEdge, on the other hand, it is a paid network. It only is active in certain parts of the US, and has a it has some higher requirements to join. So this is more geared towards professionals, people who have been either flight simming for a significant amount of time, or people who are pilots in real life and want this similar level of realism for their online simulated flights as well. So it is a lot more professional. It is not something that I would recommend for beginners, just because, again, they just want you to be at the top of your game, so to speak, in terms of phraseology, in terms of what you're doing in flying your aircraft. And if you make a mistake on PilotEdge, that is honestly not the end of the world, but they will tell you, they will call you out for it, and I am definitely not perfect when it comes to that. I have absolutely been making mistakes on VATSIM, VATSIM as well, but also on PilotEdge, and been called out for it. Thankfully, nothing too bad so far, and I hope that today is no exception to that. So that's just the thing to keep in mind for all of you that are new to this and not sure what all of this means. VATSIM, again, is definitely for intermediate to advanced simulator pilots. You do have to have a good understanding, grasp of ATC phraseology, and you have to be able to handle your aircraft. PilotEdge just takes that
Blind
to the
Boy
next level.
86.
Oh.
Hello Rob, how you?
Hey, Blind Boy, I'm doing good, thanks. How about you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream.
Level 65%.
And thanks for helping me verify that Firebot is indeed reading messages. Because if not sure how long you've been watching, but when I fired up the stream, I sent out a test message to the chat. It just wasn't reading it. Yeah. But thankfully we got that fixed. So yeah, we are currently loaded up here at Denver Airport.
Blind Boy 86.
We
all good, mate. I just seen you were live.
Yep. Doing a stream again. I know it's been too long. It's been like 3 months since the last one we did. So yeah, glad to have you here. Thanks for joining in. And yeah, I mean, with that being said, I'd say let's get right into it. As I said, we are loaded up here in the sim. We're at Denver Airport. We're gonna fly over to Las Vegas. About an hour 15 minutes flight time. We have already created the flight plan, and so what we're gonna do now, we're about to connect to the PilotEdge ATC network. But what we got to do first is actually pre-file our flight plan, so that when we go to get our clearance in a bit, they will know where we want to go.
Menu PMDD 737
So I am going to
to
switch over to SimBrief, which is where I created my flight plan.
Find dialog. Type
And
select.
just gonna do a quick
Sim
text
name
search
clickable prefile.
pre-file.
Clickable validate. Find sim heading link
And
heading level 1
again,
prefile on the network. Heading level 1 link hide details.
Prefile on the network,
Heading
that's
left
what we're gonna
link
do.
prefile. FP
Blind
PilotEdge.
Boy 86.
PilotEdge.
Oh nice. Well, I need to learn all this, so it's fun to see you streaming again.
Yeah, and like I said, I'd be more than happy at some point to set up a session with you on Discord or something, and
Watching Colorado, United States, 9.4 nautical miles,
walk you
341
through
degrees.
some of the things. Something that I already said earlier in the stream, and I don't know if you already caught that or not. What we're doing today is a bit more advanced. We are flying on PilotEdge, which is an ATC air traffic control network for advanced sim users, sim pilots. So this definitely means that this is not stuff you would do early on when you get into simming, just because it the PilotEdge network requires you to just have a certain level and a degree of experience and a good grasp on ATC phraseology. So keep that in mind. Things might seem a little bit overwhelming, especially since I'm not going to be explaining everything, especially as the flight begins. Just because I'll just need to be focused on what the plane's doing and what I'm being told by ATC. So keep that in mind.
Visit link profile.
That's I guess the only slight caveat to the stream
Untitled
today.
grave. Pilot plan. PilotEdge.net table.
Alright, we're now on PilotEdge.net. That is the official PilotEdge website, and it's got a form here where we pre-file
Out of table clickable.
our flight plan.
RMK/brief. Out of table is
Line
clickable.
86.
Cool.
Totally understand, mate.
Cool.
Looking forward to seeing this take off.
Yep. And take off we will. If everything goes right.
Table with 6 rows and 5 columns.
So we have a little web
1
form
5 column
here.
box to left IFR.
We're doing an IFR flight, instrument flight
Column 2 aircraft
procedures.
identification.
We are
N1234 AS DVI
flying
1418.
our call sign is BVI, which is the ICAO code for Vision or virtual airline. Flight number 1418.
Column 3 aircraft type / special equipment.
Aircraft type
C172 737.
is a Boeing
Combo
737-700.
box to left 1 aircraft checkbox row 2 column 1 4 airspeed.
It's one aircraft.
150 and 426 KTS. Column 2 5 departure location. KSBP at KDN. ICAO
We're
code.
departing from Denver,
Column 3 6
KDN,
arriving location. KCR 2 let clause. ICAO code.
going to Las Vegas, KLAS.
Column 4 7 cruising altitude 9,000 at 40,000 FT.
We'll be cruising at 40,000
Column 5
feet.
8 alternate airport. KSNA at class. ICAO code.
And our alternate, in case we, for some reason, couldn't land at Las Vegas, would be LAX, so Los
Row 3
Angeles.
column 1 through 5 9 route of flight. RZSB 597 OCNF.
This is just our route.
Row 4 10 remarks.
Bunch of waypoints in here.
NRMK/brief.
And in the
RF.
remarks, since we're a blind pilot, we'll let them know that we are unable to taxi to the runway. We'll need to reposition. They already know about it, but it's still something that we need to put in these remarks. So we'll put RWY,
RWY.
reposition,
Reposition.
approved
Aye.
by Ops, which is their operations team. And we also need to let them know that we're unable for visual approaches, so we'll type unable,
Unable.
vis approaches.
Approaches.
And
Row 5 column 1 through 11. File 5. Robin K. PilotEdge certificate number column 3 12. Custom weather. Checkbox notch column 4 through 5 13. Pilot rating.
we're not flying with
Checkbox not checked.
custom
Pilot rating.
weather,
Information on pilot. Row 6 column 1 through 5 button. File flight plan.
and we'll just click file flight
File flight
plan.
plan. PilotEdge. File
And
list clickable list.
here.
Click out of visit heading level 1 file flight plan. Flight plan filed successfully. Ensuring connect to the network using the Kelson DVI 1418.
Alright, so we follow flight plan,
Search sim brief.
which means we can now actually fire up the
Start window.
PilotEdge
Search window.
client.
Pilot client app. Press IP.
So
PilotEdge pilot client. Head red only multi-line 16 51 28 performing
Go
button
in
check.
here.
Untitled grave. PilotEdge pilot.
this also opens up like a little web app
Clickable panorama button. Connect button mode C button.
that we can use
Kelson
to
header required DVI
connect
1418.
to the PilotEdge network. I've already filled this out, so
Type code. Header required D737.
call sign BVI 1418, type code
Airline
B737.
code. Edit. Livery edit. Button connect.
We don't need to put anything in there, and
Button
we'll just
PilotEdge connected.
connect, and here we go. We are connected. So now that that's done, we'll need to get the latest ATIS information, which is like the weather information for Denver.
Document. Clickable visit link heading level 2 FS Airlines.
So pull up a different website.
Sim brief. Flight briefing. Air nav. KDN. Denver International Airport. For KDN.
And
Pilot.
it's
Air nav.
called AirNav.
Column 1 DFIS.
And AirNav, basically, it's airnav.com, and it is a website where you can get all sorts of information about airports. You can get information about the runways, you can get information about frequencies, which is the most important thing that we're going to be using it for. And you can also get information about certain
Blind
instrument
Boy
procedures.
86. Sounds so cool and immersive.
Yeah, thanks, and it will get even more so as we go along here.
Column 2 1.
So I'm going to tune the ATIS frequency that I found here on
Column 2
airnav.com,
125.6 R1.
which is
Microsoft
125.6.
menu. Firefox V ops 30 sim toolkit. V pilot column 3
We'll
set
go
action.
ahead and tune that,
Com 1. 125.
and see what happens.
6 Com 1. 125.60.
Denver International Airport. ATIS information India.
Watch list,
1553 Zulu. Wind variable at 3. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 10,000. 15,000
Yeah,
scattered.
let's listen to
Ceiling
this for a
20,000
moment because I'm getting a
broken.
phone call, so I'll
Temperature
be right back.
-6. Dew point -9. Altimeter 3005. Arriving runways 16 right, 17 right, 17 left. Departing runways 178, 25, 8. Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 16 right, runway 17 right hand. Runway 17 left approach in use. Multiple Arnav Zulu approaches in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information India. Denver International Airport. ATIS information India. 1553 Zulu. Wind variable at 3. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 10,000. 15,000 scattered. Ceiling 20,000 broken. Temperature -6. Dew point -9. Altimeter 3005. Arriving runways 16 right, 17 right, 17 left.
And
Departing runways 178, 25, 8. Visual approaches in use.
Alright.
ILS runway 16 right,
Just
runway.
this off. So what we learned from this, so ATIS information India is current. So that's what we'll need to include in our clearance requests momentarily when we are ready to request that.
Line
Information
boy
India is
86.
current.
Is that real life info?
Yes, it is real life info. It is, well, it might not be exactly the same as the real Denver airport has right now, but the weather is definitely the same. The only difference is that the real Denver International Airport might have different active runways compared to the one on PilotEdge. Especially since we are dealing with variable winds right now at 3 knots, so that means winds could be coming from any direction. So it's kind of up to, it's kind of up to air traffic controllers which runways they want to open up for departures and arrivals. So that could be the only discrepancy between real Denver and simulated Denver airport. But yeah, the information itself,
Line boy
all the
86.
stuff, the weather.
Lao -6 there, so.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
well, it is very cool, but it's for them it's I think it's warm there right now for to them at least. I came in here a couple of days ago and it was -19, so yeah. So anyway, so we know now that information India is current. We know winds are variable at 3 knots. We know the temperature is -6 degrees. And we also know that they have several active runways open right now for departures and arrivals. And hopefully we'll get assigned a runway when we request clearance. So with all that in mind, we will now actually start programming our FMC. We'll get the first officer add-on going so that it can do its thing. We'll get fuel and payload loaded. And then once that's all going, we'll request clearance.
Microsoft Flight Simulator first officer fly. Secure desktop.
Let's go ahead and
Forms.name. Rocket click support comment buttons. Connect. Flows and checklist grouping.
get that going.
Tab control edit. Flows and checklist. Air nav KTN Denver Internet. Tab control edit. Air nav KTN Denver International Airport. Flows and checklist grouping.
Alright,
Tab control edit plan.
and I think I'm having...
Folder view list. vPilot row forms. Air nav KT Microsoft Flight menu PMDG7.
I thought my
Edit red only multi-line select PM free plan. Free PMDG.
being slow.
Auto 2 left round 1 less fuel services greater. So 1 24 click edit plan. vPilot forms Air nav Microsoft Flight Simulator H1 Firefox VPOP 30 Sims Toolkit Pro column 2 8 of 9 Sims Toolkit Pro document KTN fuel PM
Create
vPilot
the
column forms
program
Air nav KTN Denver Air nav assist for KTN pilot client brave pilot airlines.net slash cruise Simbria flight briefing brave Simbria flight briefing panorama main landmark flight info flight plan summer low key always an LPS heading level 2 EZFW heading level 2 heading level 2 heading level 2 block fuel 14,812 LPS
Okay, we'll be taking about
Sims Toolkit Pro fuel
15,000
PMDG7 edit plan. Clear perfect edit red only mode.
Edit.
Code 1 15 level 2 32.6% 23.1. 2 less payload maintenance. Economy COs perfect clip edit plan. Simbria flight Simbria. Heading level 2 heading level 2 EZFW 104,555.
104,000
Heading out for the walk around.
pounds payload, so cargo and
Stay edit plan.
passengers.
100.
5.
Clear perfect edit red only mode. White economy COs
CPU message displayed. Enter IRS
Special
position.
3 act 4 other 5 land. Right IRS left.
Okay.
3 plan 2 plan 1 less FMC less rate.
IRS
Model and rating left IRS light on. Code 1 and 39 degrees 51.1 W1. Right IRS light on. Left IRS light on.
CPU message cleared.
Perfect clear edit plan. Clear perfect edit red only mode. Red 2 KD and 30 gate 3 blank 4 TF 5 6 less index root greater. 3 FL2. Perfect clear edit blank.
CDU message displayed.
Clear scratch with button.
Invalid entry. Pressed. CDU message cleared.
Oh,
Start window.
no.
Sim toolkit pro. Sim brief downloader app. Press right to sim brief downloader unavailable. Heading level 1 sim brief downloader.
System forgot to
Heading level 1 clickable.
download
12 files have been saved. Clickable. Sim brief downloader.
That's not
Latest flight plan.
a problem. We just took care of that.
Sim brief flight briefing document. Clear scratch with button. Pressed. Refresh button. Alt plus clear edit blank.
Try this again.
Clear
Line
perfect edit red only mode.
486.
Now it worked.
I hope they are
Code
loading
1.
some nice in-flight snacks.
Code 2.
Oh, you know, at BVI Virtual, you know, we always have the comfort and well-being of our passengers,
Perfect clear scratch with edit blank.
you know, on mind all the time, and so you know, it's right there in our heads. We're constantly thinking about it. So I'm sure our catering team will have taken that into account.
Clear perfect edit red only.
I think they might have even loaded up some ice cream
Runway 3. 4
for
blank 5
people
blank
who
6 activate.
want it after
Execute key of it.
departing
Execute key off.
freezing cold Denver.
1 list of KD and R greater. 1 BAY.
Alright, so we're now at the point where we can program our departure, or SID, or Standard Instrument Departure Procedure. However, as we haven't received clearance yet, we don't know exactly what it's going to be, especially which one. We know from the route that we created that it's probably going to be the Connor 7 departure, but we need to actually go and find that out. So we'll go back to AirNav, and I will do
airport communications heading level 3.
quick
Find dialog. Type the text you
search.
select. Air table 007 column 1 clearance delivery. Column 2 118.75.
And it's on frequency 118.75.
KD and sim toolkit 3 pilot column 4 tap control F. Com 1. 118.
Yeah, this is where we're going to have our first
75. Com 1 1.
interaction with the controller today.
Start window. Notepad plus note. New 1 note blank.
Open Notepad++ to just
DVI
write down
1418.
some stuff that we will need to tell
Aye.
them. We have Refresh India. We're expecting the Connor 7 departure, so let's make contact with them and see what we got in terms of a clearance. Denver clearance, good morning, Vision 1418 with information India requesting IFR to Las Vegas, please.
Vision 1418 Denver clearance, good morning. Clear to Las Vegas Airport via Connor 7 departure, Warner transition, then as filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 126.1, squawk 4537.
Connor, oh, Warner, okay.
Start new.
Cleared to Las Vegas via Connor 7 departure, Warner transition, then as filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 126.1, and squawk 4537 for Vision 1418.
Vision 1418, read back, correct.
Alright, so we successfully got our clearance. It didn't give us a runway, which is often the case, but in our route we have we're planning runway 08, so we'll just put that in, and then later when we're actually ready to reposition
Line
to the runway,
86. That's awesome.
they will let us know if runway 8 is correct or not. Cool. So yeah, and thanks, Blind Boy. Yeah, it is really cool. It takes a lot of practice to be able to do this sort of thing, but once you got it mastered, it is like, and it is honestly like, you know, my personal, you know, love for aviation aside, it is like one of the coolest things about being able to do this accessibly, that we get to interact this way with other pilots, controllers. You know, it's a very live, very immersive, very dynamic thing to be doing, and that is honestly one of my favorite things about flight simming. So we're going to set our squawk code that we got, 4537.
4537. Squawk 40. Star 1. Notepad plus 01 column 2 of 10. Star 2.
And we're gonna program in.
Line boy 86. Yeah, that part of things make me nervous, but it's something I would love to progress to someday.
It is. Honestly, it still makes me nervous sometimes, especially now doing this with PilotEdge, doing it on stream. Yeah, it is something that tends to make you nervous, and honestly, like that's not a bad thing, because it's good to, you know, be very alert when you're doing this, and be very aware of what's going on. You know, at the end of the day, it's still a simulator, but they definitely treat it like the real thing, especially on PilotEdge.
Land 4, land 5, 6, listen.
So, being a little bit nervous
4, land 5, land 6, listen.
is absolutely perfectly normal,
Reserve free,
and honestly, it's something that I'm also dealing with
Zero 3, 100.
doing
Reserve
this.
4, 18.
So yeah,
Reserve clear edit land. 4.
just
Clear edit red.
programming this.
4, 4, positive 5, request greater. Refresh clear edit land. Clear edit red only multi. For ZL2, plan 1, 100. Refresh clear edit
Go
land.
up to 40,000 feet.
Execute key available. Execute clear edit red.
Execute that.
Land slash fuel CRZ win.
CPT KIP. Visit
2.15.1
https://bvipilots.net for the latest info on starting simming as a blind pilot.
322 less act greater less L greater 23, 24, 25, 6 less profinite takeoff greater. 3
Okay.
22, 21 degrees. Refresh clear edit land.
Taking off with flaps
Clear
5.
edit red only multi line 1, 5 degrees 119. 1, 5 degrees 119 greater 119.
Speeds of
21, 5 degrees 119. 24
119.
KN. 294.5 slash CT trim lead 294.5 slash 94 CT3 top.
121
CT trim
and
lead.
129 knots, so we're
CT3.
pretty light. We're not gonna be taking up. We're not gonna be using a lot of runway. I think on this
4.0,
takeoff,
4.08,
so that's
4.2,
good.
4.21, 4.29, 4.39, 4.43, 4.53, 4.6,
Give this some trim.
4.68, 4.73. Attitude down 1.
Okay, that should be
Read trim
good.
disabled. G to 4, run 5, select 6, less index QRH off greater. 201, 59, 30, 02, vector 149 slash 59, 34. 01, 59.
Okay, this is a vector at departure. That's also interesting. So that means we'll be given heading instructions
6, 4, land 5, wind 6, less.
as we depart out of here.
Air nav, 8 star
Okay.
1, V pilot row 2, sim focus, performs main cop, close and check. Recent flexible compass buttons. Connect voice pause performance. Close and pre-up, perform, 0 8 button. 40,000 button. 0 button. Combo box collapse 10.
CTU message
30,000 button.
CRZ
Combo
was
box yes,
upgraded.
select button. Combo 1 selected 5. Button. Combo 2 is selected. Button. Edit selected. 26L button. Full button. Combo box 30. 0. Combo box 1, 2, 3. Edit
Setting
selected
up
2.
some
Edit selected 1.
things.
Recent
Okay.
flexible compass buttons. Connect voice pause. Perform close and check. Performance edit. Close and check. Act edit red on.
We are almost done
Suspend
with the prep work. Just gonna load the weather
Execute key
data.
available.
CTU
Left
message
FMC light
clear.
off. Right FMC light off. Execute key off. Left
CTU
FMC light
message
off. Right
clear.
FMC light on. CF3 SP2 284 slash dot.
It's done.
SP3 250 slash CF4 89.4. FP3 240.
That is all looking
F4.
good.
Contacting
5,
departure
6, 4,
47 Bravo.
Yeah,
Land
there's
4, land
another
5,
pilot.
doubling. 6, low greater. Left
CTU
FMC light
message
off. Right
clear.
FMC light off. Left
CTU
FMC light
message
on. Right
clear.
FMC light on.
Descent forecast
Left
level.
FMC light off. Right
CTU
FMC.
message clear.
2322083 degrees 159.
Alright. We are done with the programming of the
Aircraft
FMC.
looks good.
Co-pilot, I just brought him back in here so that he can finish up his part of preparations. And then we'll be good to go. Meanwhile, we can already tune the ground frequency.
Form
right
main low
down
air map. KTN. Denver Internet air map.
there. So
Airport communication.
go and find
Table
that.
column 2 122. Row 2 column 1 WX ASOS. Find dialog. Type selection. Air row 3 ground. Row 3 column 1 Denver ground. Column 2 121.35 west.
12135. There are a couple of frequencies that they have, but doesn't seem to. I'll take this 12185
XRT form submit star 1 V pilot row 2 column.
frequency.
Com 1 121. 85. Com 1 120.
Sometimes airports have different ground frequencies, especially larger
Log Emperor.
airports, depending on which
Log
side
Emperor
of the airport you're parked. So this one seems to have.
Air row 3 column 2 121.35 west. RWY07 slash 25. RWY 16 slash 34
There's a west.
121.85. RWY 08 slash 26. 17 slash 35 R. 17 R slash 35 L 377.1. RWY 08 slash 26. 17 slash 35 R. Emergency exit lights armed. Emergency.
Yeah,
Right
there's
forward
a
window,
west
light on.
frequency
Right side window.
for aircraft
Left auto,
parked
left
on
auto, right
the
auto,
west
isolation
side of the
valve auto, isolation
airport.
valve auto.
There are some other frequencies too.
Latitude 40,000.
As a blind pilot,
Auto
it's not really possible
Auto
to
brake
know
RDL. Auto brake
where
disarm.
exactly you are
Auto brake disarm light.
at
Left
the
right director on.
airport,
Right director on. Right.
unless you really
Auto
know the
auto.
place. Which in the case of
129.
Denver, I really don't. So,
MTD at 82.
you know,
73,000.
but I found that usually any ground frequency will work on PilotEdge. They won't, they won't criticize you for using the wrong frequency.
Air map.
So that's a
KTI
good
RT form
thing.
main row.
Alright.
Pre-up close and no next. Close and message copy FMC set transponder.
First officer is almost done,
Edit pre-flight flow completed.
and
V
now
pilot
he
low air
is.
map. KTI RT like red only mode.
So we'll close the
1
doors.
ground 2 auto 3 less door cruise rate. 2 1 less close door open door.
Go.
159 forms main row 1 column.
And-
PLTCH KLST button.
Do the pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight
Edit
checklist.
red.
Oxygen.
Tested.
Navigation transfer and display switches.
Normal and auto.
Window heat.
On.
Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Flight instruments.
Heading set. Altimeter set.
Parking brake.
Set.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Checklist complete.
Lodge Colorado United States 9.4 knot.
Alright,
Blind Boy 86.
it's done.
I think they can excuse you for being blind and not knowing what side you are on, lol.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, like the frequency thing is fine. Also, you know, like I said, they are perfectly fine with us having to reposition to the runway for takeoff instead of taxiing. Apart from these like minor things, you know, we have to play by the rules just like everyone else. You know, that's perfectly good in, you know, in this regard, because you know we can fly procedures and whatnot, just like anyone else, as long as they are instrument procedures. Yeah, with some exceptions, we can't do visual landings and things like that. But yeah, anything that's instrument based, you know, we can do it just as well as the sighted pilots that usually fly on here. So we currently have the APU starting up.
Blind Boy 86. That's enjoyable trying to do things the right way as good as possible.
Yeah.
MFS 01 November, was MFS 03 February 23rd.PLN 173 was MFS 03 February 23rd, was MFS 20 Jan 24.PLN 1. Flight
Looks
control,
like
fuel
I
pressure
did
light
the
off.
same
Left back off,
flight
left back off, right.
sometime
Red
in
only.
February of last year. That's
Anti-collision lights on.
interesting.
Next waypoint, TAVRN. Flight deck door denied. Flight deck door auto.
Flight plan in.
Ground power light off. Ground power not available.
Alright.
Com 1, 121.85. Com.
So, okay. So, we're now running on APU power. We are pretty much ready to start up the engines. Once that is done, we'll extend the flaps. We'll get ourselves pretty much ready to go, and then we'll call up ground and ask for clearance to reposition to the runway for takeoff.
FS ground row 1 column forms main column 3 close it. Re-up, close and check no next. Close it, message before start flow completed. Before start flow button. Before start engines button. Rest.
Start engines.
Edit red.
Starting engine 2.
And let me actually switch to cabin view because you can hear the engines a bit better. Here it goes. That's just me actually tracking the flight in FS Airlines. Just muted speech real quick
Engine 2 cutout.
so that it wouldn't talk over the startup sequence.
Starting engine 1.
And here comes engine 1. Let's go outside for that, just for a bit of a difference, bit of a change. There's our engine 1 coming alive.
Engine 1 cutout.
Alright, let's go back outside. It is freezing out here. Let's go back on the inside view. I'm just waiting for the engines to stabilize momentarily.
All engines stable.
Okay. Put the flaps out.
Blind Boy 86. Ha ha ha, yeah, it's cold out there.
CPU messages played. CPU message
Yeah, it
clear.
is.
Warning. Warning.
Oh.
Connection lost.
Connection lost.
Please ensure you have
What?
an active internet connection and check the forums for additional information.
Uh-oh. We're still live?
Speech mode deeps. Speech mode talk. Microsoft Flight RTE leg 1/2 PM forms make FS
Line
speech
486
connected.
all
Flex extended
good.
light off. FS forms make RTE leg.
Right,
Flex
okay.
extended light off. Flex extended light off.
Yeah, it was just
Flex 60.
Flight Simulator in this case. Sometimes
Flex 28.
it loses connection briefly, and it will
Flex 32.
show a warning
Flex
that
46.
gets read out, and then like
Flex 40.
it comes back a couple minutes later. And now since we're or a couple of moments later, but now since we're streaming, I'm like, man, no, it would just get disconnected. It would just stop the stream. But yeah, no, okay.
Line boy 86. Just sound went for a few SEC, I think.
Oh,
We
okay.
all good.
So it was like a brief outage. Okay. Yeah, well, that just unfortunately happens sometimes,
Selection removed.
I guess. Just waiting for first officer to finish the flap de-icing. Since it is so cold out here, it's basically doing a procedure where it will extend the flaps
Flaps
all the
35.
way,
Transponder low
wait for a
transponder
couple
low XTNR,
seconds,
transponder low top,
and then
transponder
it
low
brings the
top,
flaps
left
back in. And that's
Line boy
uh,
86.
just
I thought maybe the plane blew up, ha ha ha.
no,
Left
no, we're not. We haven't even taken
Left
off
side.
yet.
Left
Like
extended light off.
that
Left
would
extended light
be that would be so unfortunate
Left side.
if it just blew up the plane
Left
without
extended
even
light off.
having
Left extended
taken
light
off.
off. Left 2.
Like no, we don't do that here in general, and we
Left one.
especially don't do it even prior to takeoff.
Left 1.
That
Left
would
extended light off.
be
Left extended light off. Left 1.
that would be pretty unfortunate.
Left in motion.
Line boy 86. All those snacks
Left 0.
wasted.
Left in transit.
Yeah, right.
Left 0.
Like who cares about the passengers? They only care about the snacks.
Left 0. Left
Check
0.
the door.
Left in transit light on.
Okay, well, let's check the door warning. First
one.
officer, always place that, and
Left in motion. Left in transit
there's
light
no
off. Left.
rhyme or reason why the doors are closed.
Left in motion.
So,
Left in motion. Left 5.
yeah.
FS Airlines 01 column. Microsoft Flights forms main column.
Right.
After start low button. Taxi CHKLSD button.
So,
Red.
just do the taxi
Line boy
checklist.
Taxi
86.
checklist.
Edit red.
Yeah, make sure the doors are
Generators.
attached
On.
LMAO.
Probe.
On.
Anti-ice.
Yes.
Set.
Isolation.
Yeah.
Auto.
Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Check.
Auto brakes.
RTO.
Flight control.
Okay,
Full left.
flight control check.
Full right. Full back. Full forward.
Check.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Checklist complete.
Alright, I'm also going to be
Object panel.
turning
Left forward
on
overhead. Left 1. Center overhead. Left expand. Level 1 anti-ice 101.
anti-ice.
Window. Left forward. Right forward. Right side window. Probe heat proven. Probe heat. Wing anti-ice off button. Pressed. Wing anti-ice on.
Wing
Left anti-ice out. Engine
anti-ice.
anti-ice moving. Pressed. Engine number. Engine number. Pressed.
And engine anti-ice. Okay,
RTE
here we
like
go.
Forms main row 1 column 2 to 12.
And
FS Airlines column 3.
so
Microsoft Flights.
that
FS Brand row 2 column 1 5.
we
V pilot column air nav. KDN.
Pretty much fully ready. I'll
Row 3
just
column.
go and get some of the next frequencies that we'll need, because from here
Row
on
column 1
out,
double delay ASOS.
things are
Column
going to
column
go
2
pretty
117 miles
fast.
35 L300. Row 4 column 1 Denver Tower. Column 2 124.3 RW.
Tower is going to be 124.3. Where is it? Just yeah. We're actually 13235 seems to be the right
3
frequency.
1 1 select 3 select left selected 5 selected. Copy the clipboard 132 point. RTE like forms main column 3 3 of 12.
So we have that.
FS Airlines column Microsoft FS Brand V pilot column 3 7 attack control edit plan. Com 1.
Put that in here.
Air nav RT forms FS Airlines Microsoft FS Brand column star
And
1
then I'm
start.
also gonna put the departure frequency into
1
the
2 6 not
clipboard,
selected 1 selected.
because we'll need that right after we
V pilot
take
row air
off.
nav KDN
Okay.
RTE like 1 slash edit red. Star V pilot air nav forms main row FS Airlines column 2 6 Microsoft FS Brand column 4 8 10 7.
Alright, let's do this. Number ground, Vision 1418. We're now fully ready for that reposition, runway 8. Maybe we...
Vision 1418, stand by, call you back.
Okay, I thought maybe we got the wrong ground frequency after all, when it took some time to respond, but we're good. We'll just have to wait for him to call us back.
No next review. Can plan find out 1 FS RW.
Vision 1418, are you able to do a different runway? I'd send you off of 17 right if I can, to avoid putting you on that heading.
Yeah, sure. We'll just need to quickly reprogram the FMC, and then we'll be good to go. We can reprogram for 17 right, Vision 1418.
Okay, yeah, it seems like it makes it easier for me and you, no headings or anything involved, so you can call me ready to reposition to 17 right.
Alright, thanks, I really appreciate that.
Colorado, United States,
We'll
9.4
call
nautical
ready
miles, 300
for
400 feet.
1418.
At RTE like
Okay, so that is a really nice really nice thing. So I said earlier on, looking at the departure, I said, well, it's going to be a vector departure, so he's going to give us headings to get us out. But he actually put us on a different runway. Since the winds are variable, you know, that's perfectly
Line boy
that's a
86.
perfectly fine thing for him to do.
That was really cool. Wow.
And so he just put us on a different runway, which will mean that we won't have to be given headings or anything. We can just fly a procedure. So let me just go and reprogram this real quick. Right.
Takeoff speed
Connor 7. With the Warner transition. We'll have to quickly reprogram our takeoff speeds.
24, 25, 6, less per minute takeoff greater. 3C2, 21, 5 degrees, 119 greater. Flaps QRH 22, 294.2 C 3,
CDU
23 point. MCC speed 129.
Oh, and I quickly need to swap out the battery on my headset, which won't take long. Alright, sorry about that. I thought this battery was charged, but it wasn't, so we had to swap it out. Okay, so we have everything reprogrammed. We just need to get the heading off this runway.
Main landmark. Clickable zoom in button. Sim use button. Clickable tools, clickable screening, clickable flight, current phase, land. Main landmarks, main map. 10. Buttons, numbers, clickable heading level 4. No net frequency runways, heading level clickable 07, heading 08, 16, heading level 16, 17, heading level 17, heading level heading 180 degrees.
180
button,
degrees.
clickable 97 button, clickable dashboard, land, clickable flight summary.
So
At
we'll
RT,
need
select
to
one
just
heading.
update that.
MCP heading heading plus select
Heading
select
box
select
180.
180 MCP heading 1 at RT.
Alright. Vision 1418. We're now ready for that reposition runway 17 right.
Simple Thorough FS Grand column 3 of 12. And was FS 20.
1418 reposition approved.
Approved as requested. Thanks, Vision 1418.
Edit red only list unknown property page / line. List ADF. RWY17 R1 context news expense skip the years up execute X. And was FS 20 and edit red only 3000 feet.
Approaching runway
Yep.
17 right
Quickly
on
disconnect
runway
you and reconnect you when you do
17 right.
that.
Runway guidance enabled. FS Grand simple star 1 V row 2 column 1
Now
5
we
west.
switch to the tower frequency, which is
Column
already in here.
132 point. At RT FS Grand column 3 of simple star 1 air map 80 forms main column 4 before the CHK list
For
rest.
takeoff
At RT
checklist.
elect
takeoff
red only.
checklist.
Runway guidance disabled. Runway guidance enabled. Current.
Set.
Never
Stabilization
tower
check.
vision
Set.
1418
Checklist
runway
complete.
17 right, fully ready for takeoff.
Flight
Vision
attendant.
1418 Denver Tower, 1 to calm, runway 17 right, clear for takeoff.
Right fixed landing light on. Oxygen level 65%. Left runway turn off light on. Right runway turn off light on. Position lights off. Position lights strobe / steady. Target green light off.
And let's
Auto throttle servos on. Right flight director light on. Right FD master on.
Thrust set.
Check.
28 knots. 45 knots.
Speed to line.
Check.
63 knots. 80 knots.
80 knots.
Auto throttle servos
Check.
on.
97 knots. 112 knots. 128 knots.
rotate.
Up 1,
B2.
up 2, 144 knots.
knots.
Up 5, up 6, up 7, up 8. Up 9, wing anti-ice off. Left anti-ice down. Up 10,
knots.
up 11,
Positive
up
rate.
12,
Positive
up
rate.
13.
Gear up.
Up 14,
Gear up.
up 15, up 16, up 15, up 16, up 17,
Angle
right
off
up
right
18,
now.
both gears master light up 19.
Nav.
LNAV light on, 6,000 feet, 149, right 1.
Autopilot.
CMDA light on, CM right 2, right 3, right 4, right 5, right 6, right 7, right
Command
master
air.
focus. Runway guidance disabled.
Autopilot is on.
At RT, left 1 /
Acceleration
lead, red
altitude.
7,000
Vision
feet,
1418, contact departure.
Over to departure, Vision 1418.
147 knots indicated. Microsoft 1
Okay.
pilot column, act control edit tank.
Tune the departure frequency.
Com 100 at RT, edit red only, 140 knots indicated. 141 knots indicated, 8,000 feet.
Flaps
Act
1.
1, phones 200. 2 TAVRN 207, 23 VONN 207. Route 2, Mac 1, CONR 7 ton. 8314 VASL, flaps 1.
Over departure, Vision
Colorado
1418.
8445 feet.
Passing 8,400 on the climb via Connor 7 departure.
Vision 1418, Denver departure, radar contact.
Alright.
189 knots indicated. 191 knots indicated.
191 knots. We can go flaps up.
Flaps in transit light off. Flaps extended light off.
Flaps up.
Pilot row 1 Microsoft flight forms on main column 4.
Yeah, we can
Red
do
only. Low checklist. Set CH after takeoff. CH
After
red.
takeoff,
Red more light off. Right more light off.
After
9000 feet.
takeoff,
Left 0. Flaps in transit light off. Red red.
Engine bloom.
On.
Packs.
Auto.
Landing gear.
Gear lever
Up
off.
and off.
Flaps.
Up no lights.
Checklist complete.
Line boy
Engine number auto.
86.
Engine number to auto.
This is so damn
Auto
cool
reload.
that they are there to do all the
N1 light off.
comms.
Yep. It is.
1.
It is really cool. Again, this is a paid service. And it only exists in certain regions within the US. But yeah, it is really awesome being able to do this. This is like honestly just one of the coolest accessible simulation / mainstream gaming experiences that they can have, in my opinion. Again, you know, it takes a lot. You know, we spend all this time now just doing preparations and stuff. So there's a lot that goes into it, but yeah, I mean, as long as you're willing to do that, then this is a whole lot of fun.
1 phone 2. 1.
We're just
1989
sitting here right now at 10,000 feet because the departure procedure mandates that we do that.
201 phone 277/10,000 B.
It says 10,000 B, so that's 10,000 feet or below. And since we got a climb via SID instruction, that means we need to obey that restriction until we pass this foams waypoint, and then we
Line boy 86.
yeah, that point.
Did you see the trailer for Flight Sim 2024?
TDU message displayed.
I see you're really focusing on careers.
I did, and
Watch the ears.
it's interesting. Oh, let's
273 knots in. Minus 13
quickly
minutes.
see what's
274 knots.
going
1995
on
feet.
here.
200.
Okay,
What?
we're just
620. 278 knots indicated.
okay. We're good. We're just climbing. So yes, I did see that, and I agree that's pretty cool. However, keep in mind that Flight Simulator in itself, at least Flight Simulator 2020, it's not Forza. It's not accessible out of the box. You need all these
TDU is
add-ons
clear.
and things to make it be accessible. So all the things that come, like many of the things that come with the Flight Simulator by default, are not accessible. Like some of the challenge flights and stuff that you could technically do in FS 2020, it just cannot with you know, if you're blind. And so I really hope, I really hope that, I mean, there's already like some basic accessibility natively built into FS 2020. The fact that you have a screen reader that reads all the menus, but that's just about it, unfortunately. And I just really hope that for Flight Simulator 2024, they will improve upon that.
Line
But,
boy 86.
I don't know.
Yeah, 100% agree, as I have tried to do the training modes and I can't see some OT the things to pass the training.
No,
It sucks.
it absolutely cannot be done. Let me tell you, it really cannot
Vision
be done.
1418, contact Denver Center, 133.67.
120 feet.
123.67 vision
16,000
for
feet.
Miyakino.
Vision 1418, 133.67.
32.
Sorry, 133.67 for Vision 1418. See, I made two mistakes
What?
there. I
Comma.
I read back the wrong
17,000 feet.
frequency. I heard it wrong.
Comma. 1.
And then I also read it back with the wrong call sign. I used Faro Miyokino, which I
17,468
use on Maxim and not 1418. That was a
Line boy 86.
bit of a...
Sorry, I was prop distracting you,
18,000 feet.
haha.
No, that's fine. Denver Center
Transition
Vision 1418
Check.
passing 180 for 230.
Vision 1418, Denver Center, climb and maintain flight level 400.
Climb maintain flight level 400 Vision 1418, thanks. And he just sent us straight up to 40,000 feet, which is our cruise level, so that's good. So this should be relaxed all the way until we get to Vegas, and then we'll have to focus a bit more on the landing again. But yeah, no, don't worry, blind boy. You know, it's fine. This is a new experience for me, flying on PilotEdge while also streaming. So, I was thinking about what you were saying, and it probably did just get me. It probably did just throw me off a little bit, but honestly, that's good. That's part of the reason I'm doing this, because I want to be able to get more used to streaming, and try and get my mind to a level where I can comfortably do that. But yeah, we're just climbing now. We are going to switch it over to the cabin view because that's a bit quieter. And I should also turn off anti-eyes now, because we are now high enough. We are 14,000 feet over ground, so we can turn off the engine anti-eyes.
Blind Boy 86. It's testing you, LOL.
It is testing
Trust me, streaming Forza and trying to race and listen to chat takes a while to get used to.
that is even worse, man. Like I cannot. That is also why, like, during the races, either I turn Discord way down or just straight up mute it, because it's just like once somebody says something, or once I hear something that just catches my ear, then I totally lose it. So yeah. So honestly, huge congrats. I think I can learn a lot from you in terms of multitasking like that, because yeah, I mean, even just focusing on this flight and the chat, it is definitely testing me. You are 100% right.
26,000 feet. Next waypoint, CONR, distance 7 nautical miles, bearing 204 degrees, 1 minute, 12
Okay,
seconds.
we're coming up on the Connor waypoint, so that's the end of the departure procedure.
247 degrees, 1.5 at 1, Timo 200.
Blind Boy 86. I had to turn down Discord last week as I had Discord and chat and the beeps from the racing. Haha, it's a real line fuck sometimes, haha, but so much fun.
Oh god, yeah.
27,000 feet.
Yeah, there was just so much. So yeah, I mean, it is true for Forza. It is also true for flight simming. There is a lot of cognitive load on your ears. There is a lot of stuff that you need to focus on, a lot that you need to be paying attention to. You have the sound of the aircraft. You need to pay attention to what that's doing. You have the readouts and the sounds from talking flight monitor, like this one, coming through NVDA. You have ATC that you need to focus on, and so yeah, it's a lot. It's really a lot, and it took me a while to get really comfortable with all this online ATC stuff. VATSIM was really tough for the longest time, even though, again, that is a lot more chill.
29,000 feet.
And so that was tough. And then I got used to that. Did a bunch of events and stuff. And then now I'm using VATSIM mostly for non-US flights, and then PilotEdge for US flights where it's available. So that is really nice, because again, VATSIM consists of a network of great, super helpful volunteers.
So when you say this other one is more serious?
Well, I mean, it's you mean PilotEdge in comparison to, I wasn't sure right now if you were talking about like flight simming in contrast to Forza, or VATSIM in contrast to PilotEdge. Yes, PilotEdge is definitely more serious than VATSIM.
Yes, PilotEdge.
Yes, PilotEdge is absolutely more serious and requires you to have a better level of skill, or just a higher level of experience. Let's put it that way. A higher level of experience, and just more experience with ATC phraseology and handling your plane as compared to VATSIM. on VATSIM, if you sign up
Colorado,
and
United
you
States,
do a
7.1
flight,
miles,
and
229
you
degrees.
talk to ATC, you make a mistake, be that you ask a wrong question, or you read back an instruction incorrectly or anything like that. That is in most cases that is perfectly fine on VATSIM.
32,000 feet.
And the controller will just be like, hey, like sometimes they won't even say anything. Sometimes they might say like, oh, you're not doing this right. You need to do it this way or that way. And they will if you're like seriously messing up. On PilotEdge, if you make a mistake.
Visit https://
just a link to
BBIPilots.net for the latest info on starting simming as a blind pilot.
On PilotEdge, if you make a mistake, they will definitely call you out. Like they will definitely tell you like, hey, you're flying this procedure incorrectly, or hey, you shouldn't be saying this or that on frequency, and they will, they will tell you in a very serious way, because PilotEdge, it is actually being used by some flight academies to train pilots in a simulator. So on PilotEdge, the controllers, they are being as realistic, and they're treating you in the same way that a real-world controller would treat a real-world pilot. And as you can imagine, in the real world, you can't have pilots making rookie mistakes, flying the wrong way, ignoring instructions, things like that. You absolutely cannot have that in the real world.
Line Boy 86.
And that also
Oh wow,
means
that is very impressive.
Yeah, and that also means that you cannot make such mistakes on PilotEdge. Again, they will, to a certain degree, they will, if you make a mistake and then you say sorry and then you stop making that mistake, that will be fine. Like they will tell you like, hey, you're not supposed to be doing this, and then you stop making the mistake, and it'll be fine, because it is also a training and learning experience. But I have definitely witnessed other pilots making the same mistake or a series of mistakes repeatedly during the same flight, and being asked by the controller to disconnect from the network. So yeah.
36,000 feet.
So VATSIM is absolutely better and friendlier for beginners, and you still have to have a certain skill level for VATSIM as well. You have to know your ATC phraseology, and you have to know your aircraft fairly well. But PilotEdge just kind of like takes this a step further, and it's just more professional. And again, I'm really not trying to say that hey, I'm the master of all the things, and I know all the time 100% what I'm doing.
Blind Boy
I try
86.
to, but
Wow, damn, that's next level. So
sometimes
you are a pro though, so you got this, no problem.
No, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, I've been doing this for several years now. I really got into it even before COVID, and then during COVID, even more so. So yeah, I mean, I definitely have a lot of flight time under my belt. But again, I do make mistakes. I just read back the frequency incorrectly, and even with the wrong call sign a couple of minutes ago. So it happens, and I've had situations on PilotEdge where I felt like, man, I'm just not up to it today. I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just not focused enough. I need to go and disconnect now, because I just don't want to get myself embarrassed by getting all my mistakes called out. And so like it happens to me too. I slip up every once in a while. I try to
Blind Boy 86.
Keep it down to
You should do some video guides, as you do explain stuff very good.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Thanks, mate. I really, it means a lot to hear you say that. Like personally, I don't know. I've tried doing tutorials before, and like I just like halfway through, I always keep feeling like, man, this is like so unstructured. I don't even know what I'm doing. And personally, I feel like my community member and good friend Declan, aka Blind Flight Simmer on YouTube. I feel like he's the master of like tutorials and stuff. I feel like he's the better explainer. So definitely check him out as well. Blind Flight Simmer on YouTube. And you know, I think his tutorials are best in class. But thanks, thanks. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot.
39,386 feet. 2 up. 1 WVRNR.7.
Alright, we are almost at our cruise level.
39,475 feet.
39,400 feet. So we have a couple hundred feet more to
Line
go.
boy 86.
40,000.
Yeah, I will look him up.
Definitely do that. Yeah. No, we'll have to get you.
LMAG off, auto roll off, LMAG off, Amber Command A disengage, Amber Command B disengage, Amber Command A disengage, 10 2, route is 3, Amber Command.
Oh yeah, because I reprogrammed everything.
238 degrees, 280, Max 6, acceleration 232 degrees greater.
Just have to fix something up a little bit.
Route is 2, 237 degrees, 238. Execute the off. 1 seconds. MCV heading off, HD, LMAG off, button, plus L. Rest. 40,000 feet, LMAG on, auto roll off, LMAG on. Act RT.
Okay.
MCV out, intervene, VNAV button, plus D. Act RT.
Sometimes, so this is also something that can happen. Sometimes when you have to reprogram your departure procedure, and even though it's going to be the same procedure but just off of a different runway, when you reprogram it, sometimes you have what's called a route discontinuity in your FMC, and you know, you can just it's very easy to take care of it, but you know, with the way things are going right now, I just totally forgot to do that earlier in the flight, which I could have done easily, and I normally would do. But thankfully, it's easy enough to resolve, even if you don't close it ahead of time, which I just did. So we're good, and we're still on track.
239. 230.
Cruising along now.
Line boy 86. So we have to make a turn. Were we going the right way?
Yeah, we are going the right way, and no, I don't think we had to make a turn. It's just the waypoints that are listed. So like here we have 1. This is a waypoint called Zachary. Then we have 2, which is a waypoint called GGAPP, or I guess that's probably pronounced Gap, and so on. And like this is just, it doesn't mean that you have to make a turn. It just means that there's basically a gap in the flight management system between your last departure waypoint and the first waypoint of your actual route. And like all that you have to do is you have to move.
Line boy 86. Oh no, did the stream crash?
Oh.
Microsoft Flight Simulator Hash 1.35.2.1.0. Folder view list 3. Act RT legs 1 slash. Close and checklist moving after takeoff.
Line boy 86.
Microsoft.
Oh, we are back.
Oh.
Close and checklist.
Wow. Okay.
Edit red only mode.
So no, I don't even know how much you heard of what I said there, but no, the discontinuity doesn't mean that you have to make a turn. It's basically just something in the flight management system where you know, you have to select the next waypoint and move it to be in line position 1, so that basically the autopilot knows which waypoint is next in our route.
Edit 230.
That is essentially what that is.
Microsoft Flight Pilot
Let me just double check. We are still connected to PilotEdge. Yes, we are. Okay. So we're still over Colorado.
1.766/L400. Oxygen level 66%. Distance to destination 430/0.
We have 430 miles to go. So it's already time to like slowly start looking at
Line
our
86. Oh okay, I was thinking cause you took off from a diff runway you had to adjust the route.
Oh, well,
We
basically did, but it was still the same procedure. But I just forgot to I forgot to make an adjustment in the system. So that's what kind of like threw out the autopilot for a brief moment there before I could take care of it. it is kind of hard to explain when, like, to someone who hasn't looked at this system yet, because it's just the way it's laid out is just pretty pretty non-standard, and so it's kind of hard to fully explain what a discontinuity is. But it like basically it just means the system doesn't know which waypoint is next in the route, and that's what we just took care of.
Line boy 86. No, it's all good. I get it now.
Oh, okay. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Thank you. So, okay. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a look at the runways that are currently active at Las Vegas. Now, we're still a bit far from Las Vegas, so we cannot tune their ATIS weather information frequency. So I'm actually going to use a website that PilotEdge provides to get that same information. And it still has Denver. So we'll put KLAS. So I have information Juliet currently. Winds are calm at Las Vegas, and we have a temperature of 12 degrees, so this is much nicer than Denver. Okay, 19 left, 19 right, and 26 left are the runways which are currently active. Let's see which runway we have in our route. We are planning for runway 26 left currently, so we're going to be on the what's called the Chow 2 departure with the gap transition. So that's what I was saying, like one of the waypoints in our flight plan is called gap, and basically after that gap waypoint we then get onto the transition, which is again a series of waypoints which will then take us to the to our arrival procedure, which will take us down towards the Las Vegas airport. So I'm going to now program this in. Again, it is possible that we might get a different runway than what we're programming now, but it's still important to have it in there. Okay, I'm going to take 26 left. The Chow 2 arrival. Gap transition. And I'm gonna do something here because I've flown to Las Vegas enough times to already know that there's basically a shortcut on this arrival procedure, which will get us there a bit sooner. Explaining this in full detail right now would be a bit too complicated, but that's basically what I'm programming in and what I'm going to request from ATC when the time comes.
Line boy 86. I guess it's better to have it prepared in the case it is the right runway.
Yes, exactly. It is absolutely necessary.
Segment 679T, Anchor McGrath, clear to Tri-Cities Airport, Wayne 7 departure, PAPS transition,
Check some
Victor 204, then as filed, maintain 7000, squawk 3021.
Actually try a different runway, because that shortcut I was just talking about doesn't actually work for runway 26 left, so we'll try. Yeah, okay, well that shortcut doesn't work for the arrival that we'll be flying today, but it's fine. It doesn't add a lot of time to the arrival. It's not like a matter of
November
getting there
792, Wayne
5 minutes
7
earlier.
departure, PAPS transition, Victor 204, that's as filed. Overnight 672, back correct.
Land 3, Trans 2, Joe 2.26 L. To freeze 2 ERDN, Trans 2 GDAVP slash operators. Trans 3 ERDN, Land 4. Land. Trans 2 GDAVP less L radar slash operator. Trans 1, Joe 2 less L radar. Trans 2 GDA, Trans 3 ERDN, Land 4. Land 5. 6 less raise with radar. Execute. Positive star 1, Lane 1 media, Land 2, Joe 2. Land.
Something.
Joe 2.0, Land 4, Joe 5, Joe 2.
I just gonna put some food on, but I can still hear.
Okay.
Need to eat before Forza later.
Yes. Definitely get some nice food before the race. Definitely recommend doing that. Yeah, enjoy your in-flight dinner, I guess.
Go to DVI 1480 Land 2, 1, direct GDAVP, Land 2, GDAVP.Joe 2.26 L Reno, Land 3, Land 6, let's resolve set radar. Execute beyond.
Okay,
Land 2, pause our radar. 3, Land 4, Joe 2, Land 5, Joe 2. 3 2, Land 1, Joe 2.26, Land 2, CO, Land 3, CO, Land 4, COKCL 3.19 deals, Land 5, COKCL 3.26 deals, 26L. 3 2, Land 1, Crease 05 ILSD 26L. Execute DFL 2, Joe 2.2, Trans. 3 CO, Trans 2, Joe 2.2. 3 2 data. Trans 2, GDAVP slash operator. 3 data. Land 4 R. Land 5, Reno. 2, Trans 1, Joe 2, less L, Trans 2, GDAVP less L,
Line
radar, Trans 3 data.
86. Ha 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 ha, first time been on a self-catering flight.
Yes.
1, direct GDAVP, Land 2, GDAVP.Joe 2.26 L Reno, Land 3.
That's great.
Land 2, GDAVP.Joe 2.26 L Reno. Land 6, let's resolve set radar. Execute. Land 2, pause our radar. Land 2, COKCL. Land 3, CO, Land 4, COK, Land 5, COKCL 3.26 DLC 26L. Land 1, Crease 05 ILSD 26L. Execute these 2, Joe, Trans 3, CO, Trans 2, Joe 2.26 L. 3, 2 data. Land 4, Type R. Land 5, Reno. Memo origin 1, KD, or 2, Endless DB. 1, direct GDA, Land 2. Route is 3, Joe. Land 4, Joe 2.26 L Reno. Land 5, ABBR Trans Chant.
Okay, yeah, that looks better now.
Memo 2, 1, GDA, N 2. Route is 3, Joe 250 slash FL. Route 2. N 1, GDA, BP point.
Oh yeah, so we actually have another route discontinuity, but this one's only in 200 miles, so we're gonna take care of this now. But just to explain this a little bit better, I guess.
1, GDA, BP point.
Because I just programmed in our arrival, so we have this gap waypoint, which is also part of the arrival procedure. Then we have
1, GDA, BP point 7.
So that's on line 1, and then it says then
2.
And it says 2 and nothing afterwards.
Route discontinuity.
And below that it says route discontinuity.
3, Joe 250 slash FL.
And then on line 3 it says ciao. So that's basically letting us know that there's a discontinuity after gap. So I'm now going to, this is actually just because I forgot to put something in, so I'm actually just going to fix that real quick, and then it won't be an issue anymore. But yeah, that's basically what happens during a discontinuity.
Land 2, Joe, Land 3, Joe 2.0, RVDMA 0L, Land 4, Joe 2, Land 5, Joe 2.2, Land 2, Land 1, Joe 2.26, R, Land 2, CO, Land 3, CO, Land 4, COKCL 3.1, Land 4, COKCL 3, Land 5, COKCL 3.26, 2, Land 1, Crease 05 ILSD 26L. Execute star 1, Lane 1, G2, Joe 2.26 L slash operator. 2, GDAVP slash operator.
Alaska 1722 Spokane, clearance clear to Seattle Airport via Spokane, 7 departure. Radar vectors sample as filed. Maintain 12,000. Expect level 2010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 123.75. Squawk 2542.
1, GDAVP, assist for clocks, import, pro document, KD. Edit. 2, MNCIN .762, 3, DHHIL 240.
Just double check
RT1, direct
everything.
GDA, Land 2, GDAVP.Joe 2.26.
Also, this just took me way longer than normally would have. I just went back doing the same thing over and over again. Just because I was like trying to do this while also talking. And, yeah.
Alaska 1722, read back. Correct.
R21, GDA. Distance to destination 370/0.
We have 370 miles to go until we get to Vegas.
Distance to descent 243/.
And we have 243 miles to go before we start our descent. So that gives us about, what does it say?
Distance to descent 242/0:03650.
Yeah, 36 minutes before we start descending.
394 knots ground speed.
Ground speed 394 knots, which isn't particularly fast. Probably just dealing with some winds up here.
Winds 245 with 38 knots, gust at 0 knots.
Yeah, winds 245 and 38 knots, so we're definitely getting some stronger headwinds up here.
1 GDAVP.
But whatever.
Total fuel 11,198.5.
11,900 pounds of fuel left.
Georgia Mesa, Colorado, United States. 7.5 nautical miles, 326 degrees. Simple info document. Edit read only. 201 DDAV. Simple info. Edit read only.
I'm having a thing.
Folder view list.
NVDA seems
Cockpit panels, ground power off, button plus R. Forms.name.
might
A
just
Discord lost. PilotEdge.net. Brave. A Discord lost. Flows and checklist group. Act RTE legs once. Taskbar. Act RTE legs. Edit read only.
Yeah, that's better.
Forms.net. A Discord. Simple. Microsoft. Vpilot column 26 of tab. Edit read only. 236 degrees 182 1 DDAV point. 202 MNCIN.764 slash FL 203 DHHIL 200. 204 244 slash 17,000 FL 230. 205 Joe 250 slash FL 190D.
Just looking
202 211 Wolf 244 slash 12,164. 202 Tattoo 244 slash 9500 10,500. 203 KRLOZ 240 slash 9,000 E. 214 Rio 210 slash 8,000. 215 Mar 210 slash 6,500 A. 202 211 Chan 163 slash 4,800 A. 202 Relin 142 slash 3,800. 203 RW 26L slash 2231. 202 211 Chan 163 slash 4,800 A. Roof clip edit tank. Clip roof edit red only multi-line 1 Chan 106. Execute key 211 Chan slash 4800. Execute key. Act RTE 211 GDAVPs. 1 GDAVPs left
CD
MC
message
right MC light on.
unable 250 KTSHM.
2 SD3 204. Roof clip edit tank. Clip roof edit red on. Execute key of SD3 250 slash 10.
CD
Left
message
MC light off. Right of MC light off.
Oh, what you just heard
Act
there
RTE
was
211.
a so-called GPU, CDU message.
Left MC light off. Right of MC light on.
Not
Unable
GPU
250 KTSHM.
Yeah, it's basically just letting us know that at this,
Mac.
let's see,
Mac unable 250 KTSHO.
at this Chow waypoint,
Act RTE 211 GDA.
it's saying unable 250 knots, so
211 GDA 212 M213 DHHI 214 200.
probably means
F3
that,
250 slash 10,000 slash SD 2.761 slash 244 1,800.
yeah, it just means I need to increase our descent speed a little bit on the descent page of
Execute
FMC,
DFD 2.761 slash 280.
which is
CD
what
message
we
off, right.
just did, and you just started saying CDU message cleared,
Act
so
RTE
we're
211
just taking care of that.
211.
Taking care of that warning. Sometimes these procedures, both takeoff and arrival procedures, require you to be at a certain speed when you cross certain waypoints. And if your flight parameters are set in a way where you're going to be too slow, or where the plane is basically restricted from going any faster than what you set it up to be, then what the procedure restriction mandates, it will warn you and will say unable, in this case 250 knots at this particular waypoint, and that you can use as a prompt to go through your descent page if it's for the descent procedure, or for the arrival procedure / star, or your climb page, and you can adjust your speed accordingly, so that it will be able to meet those restrictions. And that's what we basically just did.
399 knots ground speed.
Line boy 86. So can flights go wrong as in system failures or landing gear ECT?
You can turn that on. You can have random failures. You can even have program failures. But it's something that is absolutely not recommended for us blind pilots, because it can be really tough for us to deal with those emergencies. You could have, for instance, you could have an autopilot failure, for instance, and for us, we need the autopilot to be able to fly properly. And if we don't have that, then well, we might as well just quit out of the simulator and end the flight there abruptly, because we wouldn't be able to deal with that. With that being said, though, those things aside, it is definitely still possible for flights to go wrong. It is possible.
November 96792, Yakima ground, runway 27, taxi via Alpha, cross runway 22 at Alpha.
On the ILS glide slope, for instance, for your landing, and then you have to go around, or maybe there's a weather situation.
Vision 1418, contact Salt Lake City Center 135.7.
Blind Boy
Over to
86.
Salt Lake City Center,
OMG, no, not an
135.77.
autopilot failure.
1418, thanks.
We need that a lot, haha.
Yes.
Com 135.77. Edit rail.
Yeah, we're gonna contact next frequency. Salt Lake City Center, hello, Vision 1418, flight level 400.
Vision 1418, Salt Lake, roger.
Alright,
Mode Utah, United States, 16.
and sure enough, we are passing over Utah.
235 degrees, 153.1.
So we're in Salt Lake City's ATC sector now, no longer within the airspace of Denver.
Blind Boy 86. So is this you coming into their airspace and it auto connects you to their ATC?
Well, no. So up until now, we were still with Denver, right? We're still on Denver Center's frequency, and they he saw us.
Fucker
on his radar.
3512, call you back.
Leaving his airspace, and that's why he then told us Vision 1418 contact Salt Lake City Center on this frequency, and so that's basically what happened. So he told me, hey, you're leaving my airspace, you need to call this other frequency, and so I typed in the frequency that he gave, and made my initial call to them. So no, it's not automatic. It's something that I just did very quickly. Switching over to the next frequency that we need to be on.
Distance to destination 315/0.
315.
Blind Boy 86. Oh, okay, cool, I get it now.
What?
I was
Yeah.
thinking you had to input the new one, but I must have missed you doing it.
Locker 3512,
I
you're clear
just
to
did it
Lewiston
very
Airport
fast.
via Missoula 5 departure.
I also have
Mullen Pass transition.
NVDA
Direct
speaking all
Nez
the
Pierce
characters
VOR.
that don't
Direct.
speak words.
Climb
So I,
via the SID.
I would have
Squawk
had to press space or something
6326.
for it to actually read it out. Also, I guess also something else to keep in mind. I am using a braille display, and I use that a lot in conjunction with speech. That also means I have a habit that probably is not the best for streaming.
Locker
But I
3512,
have a
thanks.
habit
Feedback
of
correct.
sometimes muting speech and just reading the rest of some text on my braille display. And I guess maybe that's not ideal. I guess I maybe should be doing that less when I'm streaming.
Vision 1418, cross gap at flight level 320.
Cross gap at flight level 320, Vision 1418. So it just gave us an altitude restriction for this gap waypoint.
1 DDAB.
So I basically just have to type this into the FMC.
Libra edit rail only multi-line 1 DDAB. Execute key available 2 on 1 DDAB/FL320.
So now it says GGAPP gap / FL320.
Execute
So
beyond.
the system now knows to recalculate our descent path so that it will start descending. Well, there is something else that I need to do first, but it basically knows now that we want to descend and be at 32,000 feet, aka flight level 320 at this gap
2
waypoint.
1 DDAB. Distance to descent 110/0.
So now we have 110 miles till descent with this restriction.
MCP altitude. VNAV button. Intervene button.
I also
Altitude.
need to input this altitude in the MCP box, which is basically the
Land
autopilot.
selection removed. 32,000. 32,000. Act RT.
Blind Boy 86. No, but it works for you. I have just started to use NVDA sometimes as my side gets worse, so still getting used to it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Over 9679 Yakima Tower, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Yeah, it's just kind of like what I tend to do, because like sometimes when there's like a lot of text in a line, and I just know that I need to, I just know that I only care about the last bit of text on that line.
Mode Utah, United States.
I
12.0
might
knots,
just
45 degrees.
mute it real quick and pan over with my braille display and just read the text that I'm interested in, without having NVDA speaking the whole lot. But yeah, that's just kind of like how, I used to be a speech-only person for the longest time. I would use the Braille display during school or during university assignments and stuff. But personally, I would only use speech. But then, like at some point, I just kind of like became more and more of a Braille display user, and I just started using it. Whenever I have it around with my computer. I don't know how to use it with my iPhone or anything like that. Just my just my computers, MacBook and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of like a personal thing. But honestly, most people in the community are not using a Braille display. They're just doing this with just speech. So.
Blind Boy 86.
Making that clear.
LOL, yeah, that is the thing, we can't choose how much it reads to us.
Yeah.
It's great you have them options and it makes it better for you, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is very useful. So yeah, that's kind of like what I'm doing. But again, just to make that very clear, it's not a requirement to have a Braille display in order to get into flight simming. I find that it helps me personally, and I wouldn't want to have to deal without it. But most people in the community, they don't use Braille display. They just do it with speech, and they're perfectly fine. So yeah, just putting that out there too.
Distance to descent 92/0. 2 MNC. SD3 250. FD4. FD3 SD 2.764/281,800. SD3 FD4. 5 less even. Land 6 less forecasting outrigger.
Making some.
Right on 6792, Spokane departure at a contact.
Roof edit tank. Execute key available. Clear roof edit red only multi-line 3 Execute land 4 FL200. Land 5 10,001 bigger 6 less request.
Just gonna request the or load the weather data, the wind data for a descent into the system, just to help the plane calculate the descent path for us.
Forecast ready.
Forecast ready.
Land forecast 6 low radar. Left FMC light off. Right FMC light off.
Put that in.
Left FMC light
CDU
off.
message displayed.
Left
CDU
FMC light
message
off.
cleared.
Act R211 GDA DPs. Distance to descent 86/0.
And we have 86 miles, and now we'll start descending to meet that restriction.
Blind
of
Boy
the
86.
flight level reaches zero.
I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure out how some of you guys listen to the speech so fast, haha.
I know.
I guess it's just a matter of getting used to.
I know, and by the way, let me know if it is too fast. I think my speaking rate settings are pretty moderate in comparison to some people, and you know, I just personally prefer it at a fast but still kind of like human sounding pace. I don't go like super crazy on my speaking rate, but yeah, it's some people, yeah, and honestly, like some people, you know, they're streaming and like,
Alaska 1722 Spokane ground. Spokane information,
well,
Romeo
let's
current,
say
runway
I
21,
don't
taxi
know
by Alpha.
I don't have any clue what it just said, but yeah, so I definitely know the feeling.
Blind Boy 86. I can get most of yours. IH heard somewhere. I have questioned if that is even English, haha.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of these things that I'm reading through, they're definitely English-based, like based on English terms, but, you know, there are a lot of things that are just abbreviated. Like, you know, you might hear DEP, which stands for departure, or you might hear, you know, DSC or DES, which is descent, or RWY, which Eloquence likes to pronounce as Y, which is short for runway. So yeah, it's there are a lot of abbreviations in aviation. So that is also something that you know, if people wanted to do this, have to kind of get used
Blind
to.
Boy 86. Or heard some people screen readers where I have questioned is it reading English as it reads so fast.
Oh, yeah. That too.
397 knots ground speed.
Going at
Blind boy
397 knots ground
86.
speed.
Okay, gotta check the food. I
Okay.
will try not to burn the plane, lol.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Distance to descent 65 slash.
The Spain would the smell would be awful. So please don't burn the food.
397 knots ground speed. Distance to descent 64 slash.
And also enjoy it. Yeah, I hope you're gonna have a nice dinner. Getting ready for the race in a little bit. Let's see. So, yeah, okay. It's just after 7 p.m.
Alright,
here,
792, radar
3
contact
hours
lost.
till the race. So thankfully, I planned this in a way where I have enough time to get this thing down, grab some dinner myself, and then be ready for the race.
Distance to descent 59 slash 0. Lat 2 30 degrees 126 kT. Cos 3 10,526 ft3. Cos 2 30. Cos 3 hills 4. At RT legs 1 slash 4. 2 1 GTAV. Distance to descent 52 slash 0. Low Utah, United States, 45.2 nautical miles, 286 degrees.
Alright, still over Utah somewhere.
200. 1 GTAV 200.
CPT
397 knots ground
Visit
speed.
https://bvipilots.net for the latest info on starting simming as a blind pilot.
Distance to descent 46 slash 0 cold.
Alaska 1722, Spokane Tower, ready to do 21, cleared for takeoff, wind 0505.
Some light bit of traffic.
200. 1 GTAV.
PilotEdge definitely tends to sometimes get busy during weekends, but it's pretty light today. Not too much going on.
Low Utah, United States, 39.0 nautical miles, 301 degrees. knots ground speed. Distance to descent 36 slash 0 colon 05. 200.
Just checking things as we get closer to our top of descent.
Alaska 1722, contact departure. Alaska 1722, Spokane departure, radar contact, clear direct temple.
Distance to descent 29/0. 200. 1 feet.
29 to the
Define
center.
road form, name, but this lost info from Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Go
Microsoft
back
Flight Simulator
from the cabin
1.35.21.0.
view to the cockpit view.
Edit red only multi-line.
Here we are.
Microsoft. Edit red.
Alaska 1722, contact Seattle Center 125.1.
At R21 DDAD. Distance to descent 25/0.
Seattle Center, good morning, Alaska 1722, 6,500 for 12,000.
Alaska 1722, Seattle Center, climb and maintain flight level 280.
280, Alaska 1722.
Distance to descent 21/0.
Oh, I should also probably clarify. You just heard this same controller who we're also currently with. It's a Seattle Center, good morning. And that's just because PilotEdge controllers, they control several ATC facilities all at once. So this controller, you know, he was controlling Denver. He's now controlling us, even though we've now made it across to Utah, and we're flying through Salt Lake City airspace. But it's still the same controller, just because PilotEdge, you know, doesn't have nearly as much traffic as you would have in real life, and so it's okay for them to have one person controlling several.
Alaska 35 South Missoula ground runway 12, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha.
Some of these pilots are flying in completely different regions as we are, within PilotEdge coverage airspace. We still hear them, even though they're not even on our frequency. Just to let us know that this controller is currently speaking with somebody else, and we don't key up and say something while he's talking to somebody else. That's basically how the system works on PilotEdge, with one controller staffing up several airspaces and airports.
Distance to descent 9/0. MCV intervene button pressed. At RT.
Okay, we're going to start our descent here.
1 DDA.
To flight level 320.
Minus 696 feet per minute. Minus 951 feet per minute.
Vision 1418 is vacating flight level 400.
Vision 1418, thank you.
1 DDA. Minus 1014 feet per minute. 39,717 feet ASL. Microsoft Pilot conforms .net is for lost. PilotEdge.net brave is for lost.
Let's recheck the weather
Magnitude
information for
Vision 1418, contact Los Angeles Center 124.62.
100.
124.62 for Vision 1418.
1. Com 1. Com 1. 100.
Altimeter 2906, advise data send request.
2. 1. 39,208 feet ASL.
Los Angeles Center, hello, Vision 1418. It is out of flight level 390 for 320 to be level at gap.
Vision 1418, Los Angeles Center, send via Chow 2 arrival. Runway 26 left, Las Vegas, altimeter 2992.
Altimeter 2992, descend via the Chow 2 arrival, runway 26 left, Vision 1418.
Papa Juliet. You say you want Isla?
So it looks like
Pop Juliet, roger, flight heading 340, set maintain 4000.
Plan 4, so that is good.
38,582
No
PASL.
need to change it.
2 MMC. 1 GDA BP 200.
We've also now been
1,
cleared to
2, 2,
continue
2,
descending
2 4 Olive.
with
2
this
5.
arrival procedure.
2 2 2 1 Wolf 2 1. 2 2 Tattoo 2 1.
So
3 AR.
this should be
2 4.
pretty straightforward.
2 5 Var 2 1.
Hopefully.
2 4 Rio 2 1. 2 5 Var 200. 2 4 Rio 200 10/8000. 3 2 1 2 259 1 Shan 100. 2 2 Relin 131/3800. 2 1. MCV altitude hold plus easily. Land selection. 48 ACRT. ACRT 2 1 GDAB. Minus 968 feet per minute. TD2 West 3200 for depth 4 394 low 1.4. ACR 2 1 GDAB. 238 knots indicated. V-pilot robot is log Microsoft Flight Forms main column 2. Close and CHKLSD button.
Descent checklist.
Descent
Edit
checklist.
rail.
Pressurization.
Set.
Recall.
Check.
Auto brake disarm. Auto brake 1. Auto brake 2.
Auto brakes.
Set.
Landing data.
Check.
Approach briefing.
Completed.
Checklist complete.
Auto throttle servos off.
ILS set.
37,000 feet. Forms not V-pilot combat is lost. Pilot edited.
Still gonna check the weather.
But this one is link incoming joint style of heading Air International Air Force. Still physical kilo.
Information kilo.
And class 200 1756 000 80 10
Winds are
MSCT.
still calm. 13 degrees out there.
From
58,000.
flight deck again, you probably already noticed.
Arriving runways 19L, 19R, and 26L.
Yeah, we already know that
36,000 feet.
there's left.
Pilot edge, pilot quiet. 0 left. Simply flight breathing. Air nav, KDN, temperature, have a table link, land, list the items visited, navigate visited link, airports visited link,
Also gonna
air nav, airport info.
pull up Las Vegas Airport on this AirNav website just in case we need anything from there. Sometimes they will
Lost. Air nav.
not give you the tower frequency. So some
35,000
controllers will tell you like when you're close enough to the runway contact tower on frequency such and such. Some controllers don't, and they just expect you to know the frequency.
Flight time opt.
So I want to be prepared for that eventuality.
0 control tower.
5 Pop Juliet, flight heading 030, just maintain 3400.
034, column 1 Las Vegas Tower. Column 2 118.75 RWY01L/19R 01R/19L 119.9 RWY0L/26R 0AR/26L 257.8 34,000.
And it looks like the frequency we need is 119.9. Again, it's possible that
5 Pop Juliet, 1 mile from Sudoc, maintain 3,400 till established. Localize a clear ILS runway 6 approach.
but you also might not. So.
Next waypoint MCIN distance 35 nautical mile.
Yeah, that's also the thing with flight simming really is you'd rather be over prepared than to be under prepared.
Minus 1135 feet 32,413 PASL. 2 1 G2 2 MCI. 2 1 minus 574 feet 32,294 PASL. Air nav, lost air, assist for lost, pilot edge contact. Edit red only multi. ACRT 2 1 MCIN 208. 2 1 MCIN 2 1. Minus 1257 feet per minute. 32,110 PASL. 32,000 feet.
8454 Hotel SoCal approach. You said you're on the ground in Victorville, but you're on my frequency here. This is SoCal. Are you on the ground at Corona? 554 Hotel Roger. Clear to Victorville Airport as filed. Maintain 4,000. Expect 9 or 1,000. 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 135.4, squawk 2632, hold for release.
Same person controlling a dip airspace, and that's totally understandable with there being so many dip airspaces.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but now we actually have a different controller. So yeah, this definitely still quite a bit of
326 degrees.
That's good. 5 Bravo Juliet, traffic alert, traffic 10 o'clock, 1 mile, southbound, type unknown, altitude case 2,500. Contact San Bernardino Tower 119.45.
So that person just got a traffic alert to look out for another aircraft. You said aircraft type unknown, so I guess it was another aircraft and not just
31,000 feet.
some random thing.
30,720 is the ASL.
Blind Boy 86. Yeah, it's amazing to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
If the airspace is busy, could you be told to change direction?
Yes. If you are coming in and you're flying into airspace that is congested, that mostly happens on arrival somewhere. They can give you what's called delay vectors. They can tell you, like, fly heading such and such, to basically move you out of the way and get you into a sequence, which is basically a queue of all the aircraft that are going to the same place. And then when you're first in line, they would then vector you back onto the arrival/approach, so that you can actually continue your landing. Or they might ask you to enter a holding pattern as well. They give you a waypoint to tell you to hold there, and you also program that into your FOC. The aircraft flies the holding pattern on its own thanks to the autopilot. But yeah, that can absolutely happen. That is absolutely something that will happen. In case
Blind Boy 86. Yeah, I was just thinking some airports must be more popular than others, resulting in landing queues.
So PilotEdge usually is pretty light in terms of traffic. There are some exceptions. They have some events, and like I said before, especially on weekends, there's definitely more going on. But where this really applies is on VATSIM, because again, since it's free and it's more like caters more towards your hobbyists and entry-level simmers, as well as advanced ones. VATSIM can be a lot busier, and VATSIM also has major events where you either fly into a particular airport or you do a particular flight, and those can even have, like, there are some events that have close to 1,000 pilots flying, and when you're dealing with something like that, then yes, it becomes a major thing, and you have to plan for major delays. Sometimes upwards of an hour. I have absolutely seen that happen. So yeah, it is absolutely something that it can happen if you're flying a busy event.
Next waypoint, PHHIL business, 48 nautical miles. 226 degrees, 2.2 NM, 1 MMCIN. 212 PHHIL 21 MMCIN, 280. 226 degrees, 1.2 NM, 1 MMCIN. 28,701 feet ASL.
Blind Boy 86. Oh wow, that's awesome, but you would have to make sure you load enough fuel for that.
Oh yeah, you can do that when you create your flight plan. You can add reserve fuel to account for situations like that. And since it's a simulator, it is technically possible to top up your fuel while you're flying. It is not something that is recommended. And you can, like, some virtual airlines will give you a penalty for doing that. But yeah, that is also an option if things unexpectedly turn out to take a lot longer than what you planned.
226 degrees, 40.5 NM.
You can do that too.
1 PHHIL 200.
You can be Air Force One and just refuel in midair.
28, minus 646, 27,990, 282 knots indicated. Coming out from
27,000 feet.
1 feet.
Up to 70.
Distance to destination 130/0.
Getting closer and closer to Vegas Airport, 130 miles out.
200. 1 PHHIL 280/FL 248. 280/17,000 FL 230. 23 Joe 250/FL 190D. 24 Wolf 250/10,800. 25 Tattoo 250/9500 10,500.
Just looking at the various waypoints here.
At RTE legs 1/4. 2 1 PHH.
That will be coming up on.
Minus 663 feet per minute.
nice gradual descent.
27,370 VASL. Feet. $26,775 VASL. 226 degrees, 27.1 NM. 1 PHHIL 280.
April 5 Hotel, release to departure, call everyone.
This game being very addictive. I would really love to make my way around the world.
It definitely is. Again, you know, because it just offers you so many things that you can do. You can fly, you know, around Europe. You can fly in the U.S. You can fly Oceania, Australia, some of those places. You can really explore different parts of the world. You can try long and short flights. Yeah, you can experiment with the various ATC networks. There is just so much stuff that you can do, and it really just doesn't get old, because no two flights are the same, especially when you add in online ATC, because you might be getting different instructions. You know, we just got a different runway for a departure than we had planned. So like there's this great element of variation and surprise that is added into this. That just makes it even more fun. You know, you might be dealing with weather situations, you know, some turbulence or strong winds or stuff like that, which can have an impact on your flight. There's just so much you can do. There are, you know, you were talking about career things previously. There actually, even now, there is a separate add-on that you can get. It's called the Pilot's Life, that basically simulates the, you know, career building experience of a pilot. Like you start for you know, with 0 experience points. You have to fly for like smaller airlines, and you don't get a lot of virtual pay for doing that. And then you work your way up to flying with bigger airlines. And you just kind of like build your virtual pilot's resume and experience. So yeah, it is very addictive, and it's also really nice. Like, you know, sometimes when you're doing a longer flight and you're doing it on VATSIM, for instance, and there is just no controllers online, so you're on the network, but basically you're off on your own. You know, you can start a longer flight, and while that is going in the background, while you're cruising, you could also be doing other things. So it's also a nice chill thing that you can have on in the background.
Line Boy 86.
So yeah.
Now that sounds like my sort of thing. I like careers and working your way up.
Yes. So that is absolutely possible. And even, you know, the virtual airline that we're flying for right now, VVI Virtual, you know, that's like an online thing. I'm going to be making some virtual cash for our airline that later on. Yeah, we have a lot of money in the bank, actually. Our virtual airline has a lot of virtual currency, but you know, it allows us to expand our fleet, for instance. You know, we can buy more aircraft, and things like that with the money that we're making with these flights. So like there is a lot you can do. There's just so many things. All thanks to the great
845 Hotel, not seeing anywhere. Verify squawk 2632, squawk altitude 910.
All thanks to this great ecosystem of like add-ons and things that you can get.
24,301 PASL. 225 degrees, 2.6 NM, 1 PHHIL 200. 280 left.
Just keeping an eye on this here.
201 PHA shot. 281 knots indicated.
We're looking good.
Minus 690, 24,120.
We are very well on track.
200. 1 PHA 225 degrees, 24.0 NM. 280.
5 Hotel.
21.
Plus the death there. Radar contact over Paradise. Climb maintain 6,000.
Air International Airport. Village of Kilo. Edit red. The form's not named. Pilot com. Edit red. 225 degrees, 23.1 NM. 1,280 slash 17,000 FL 230. feet ST toward Utah, United States, 19.4 nautical miles, 346 degrees. 225 degrees, 20.3 NM, 1,200. 284 knots indicated.
Just checking our speed, making sure that's not too high.
283 knots indicated. 200.
Yeah, that's good.
1,280 slack. feet.
Blind Boy 86, yeah, I do like to grow your way through a simulator. I don't enjoy having everything the best it can be at the start, as there is no feeling of learning things and progression. It's why I was so disappointed with career in Forza.
21,000 feet.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, honestly though, even without the career stuff, I would definitely argue that with flight simming, there is still so much to learn and so much you can do. Like, you could just, start off with, doing flights offline with no ATC, and then you get used to that. You get to learn all your aircraft systems, basic rules of instrument flight, and then you get to grips with that.
20,000 feet.
Then you go on to flying with something like VATSIM, and you get to grips with ATC phraseology. You get to learn how to fly, at the same time as others, and the rules and regulations that exist around that. So there is a lot to learn, even from a basic starting point, and it's very different from something like Forza, because sure, Forza has a learning curve of its own, but basically, once you know that right trigger is your throttle, left trigger is your brake, and you steer with the left thumbstick, then you already pretty much know all that you need to know to get started. And, sure, you're gonna crash and stuff. You're gonna crash badly the first couple of times you do it. But that's basically the pure minimum you need to know. With flight simming, the initial learning curve is a lot higher, because you need to understand all this stuff before you can even get off the ground. So, I wouldn't concern myself too much with the add-ons and things and the career stuff
86.
too much.
Yeah, that is my plan, is to learn the short flights offline and try learn as much as I can.
Yeah.
There is so many systems to learn with just the aircraft, and most aircrafts are diff also.
Yes, that is very true. So, yeah, I mean, even just with that, you have hours and hours of time you can spend on learning these things and working your way around all these systems and stuff.
280 knots indicated.
Okay, we're coming out of 17,000 feet.
16,800, 279 knots indicated. 221 degrees, 18.4 NM, 1 Joe 250 slash FL 190D.
We're now inbound to Chow, which is the first waypoint of the actual arrival procedure.
276 knots indicated. 16,672 VASL.
Blind Boy 86. Well, I didn't burn the plane cooking burgers, so that's good.
Yay!
These self-catering flights are the future, haha.
Oh, the chaos that would ensue if you had like a bunch of people trying to get their food ready. Oh man, but yeah, enjoy your burger. It sounds delicious. Kind of jealous. I'll have to check what we have in the fridge upstairs.
15,500.
When I'm done with this.
200. 1 Joe 200. 281 knots indicated. 15,460 VASL. 200. 1. Minus 1070 feet per minute. 280 knots indicated. 15,321 VASL. 2. 1 Joe 2. 221 degrees 9.5 nm. 1 Joe 2. Engine 1 45.2 minus 1099 feet per minute. 281 knots indicated. 15,061 VASL. 221 degrees 8.6 nm. 15,000 feet. 1 Joe 250/FL 190D.
This next waypoint requires that we reduce our speed to 250 knots when we cross it.
1 Joe.
So the autopilot should do that for us, but we still don't have to monitor it
281 knots indicated.
to make sure that that's going right.
221 degrees 7.0 nm. 1. 1076 feet. 14,582 VASL. 281 knots indicated. 221 degrees 5.9 nm. 1 Joe 200. 281 knots indicated. 282 knots indicated. 14,380 VASL. 221 degrees 4.1 Joe 200. 282 knots indicated. Minus 1033 feet per minute. 14,174 VASL. 282 knots indicated. 200. 1. 14 FCDC. Intervene off button hold high. Press 200. Indicator speed at hold
Have to do it
250. 250. And hard.
manually.
200. 1. Minus 1096 feet. 278 knots indicated. Speed
Speed brake
on.
on.
Use the speed brake to slow us down.
274 knots indicated.
CPT
270 knots indicated.
Visit
269 knots indicated.
https://bvipilots.net for the latest info on starting simming as a blind
264 knots
pilot.
indicated. 262 knots indicated. 260 knots indicated. 258 knots indicated.
Blind Boy 86. Do you think you will hold on to third place in the Forza leaderboard?
Ha!
252 knots indicated.
I hope so,
252 knots
man. But
Spoiler track.
some of these tracks this week are
200.
particularly challenging. So hey, you know, I'm hoping for the best.
249 knots in.
But
13,130.
1419, contact Los Angeles approach 125.6.
100.
over to approach 125.6, visual 1418.
First one.
Just
Com 1.
do
Com
that.
1. Act RT, but Discord lost. Pilot, but Discord lost. But Discord lost. Heading level 1 of Discord. Air Reed International Airport. PilotEdge Visit Kilo. V-Pilot Go. Act
Still
RT.
information kilo.
12,895 VASL.
Las Vegas approach, vision 1418 is out of 13,000, descending via the Chow 2 arrival. We have information kilo requesting ILS Zulu 26 left.
Vision 1418, Las Vegas approach, cleared ILS runway 26 left approach, altimeter 2992.
2992, cleared ILS 26 left approach, vision 1418.
220 degrees 9.4 nm. 1 Wolf 200.
So yeah, that's what I was saying about being prepared, especially when you switch over to sound-like approach.
200.
You know, that they want to know, okay, what is it you want to do?
248 knots in. 12,308.
Which approach and runway do you want?
200.
And so in this case, we already knew. He already gave us 26 left previously, but we just needed to specify exactly which approach we would like to fly coming in.
200. 1 Wolf 200. 12,086 VASL.
And he cleared us for that, so
248 knots in. 12,000 feet. 200. 1 Wolf 200.
that's good.
Minus 810 feet.
Don't have to make any more major changes to the rest of our route.
249 knots in.
Just gotta make sure that the plane continues to be on track, and then we're gonna be all right.
Minus 827 feet per minute.
54 Hotel, roger.
249 knots in.
54 Hotel, you just be advised you're supposed to leave the hold after passing Paradise 6,700.
11,511 VASL. point statue, distance 7 nautical miles, bearing 220 degrees, 1 minute, 31 seconds. 11,000 feet. $10,714 feet ASL. 220 degrees 4.3 nm. 220 degrees 4.7 nm. 2 KRLOZ 250/9000 D. 1 Tachu 250/9500 10,500. 10,589 feet ASL. 220 degrees 3.5 nm. 1 Tachu. Minus 896 feet per minute. 10,475 feet ASL.
To come out of 10,000 feet?
Choose destination. 3 runways, open runway 26L. Boat can build to name identifier name frequency 111.50. Nav 1 111.50. Port air runway combo K button press act RTE left. 220 degrees 1.4 nm. 1 Tachu 250/9500 10,500.
All of Ipaters, hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots, etc.
No.
The price is lower than any competitor.
Go
The
away.
quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and convenient order management panel, chat panel, turn it on /off/customize. Go to ScreenRise.com. Line boy 86, just a bot.
Link channel rewards.
Yeah.
Link list, link hotkeys, link counters, management, link effect queues, link games, link moderation.
How do I ban this person?
Link quotes, link view, link
I don't really have a lot of time to look into this right now.
Clickable notification center, clickable login main landmark exempt roles, button add role, and word list, button enable and word emoji /emoji, button enable URL moderation, button enable affirmative command is affirmative command is automatically added to system commands.
Yeah, I don't know how to ban this
Button URL,
person.
button host, button and button exempt, click 2, 105 heading left button, button connections, button disconnect service navigation and link settings, link viewer roles, link viewers, link quotes, link currency, link moderation, link games, link bot, link currency, link quotes, link viewers.
Viewers.
Button heading 10550. 2. Clickable notifications and clickable login and profile main landmark button import viewers. Search Firefox viewer button search with table with 0 rows button username. Button join date button last button view time button chat messages button at button 00 ride button 10/13 button 10/13 button 2 button 0 button 0 1 button 10/13 button 10 button 2 button 0 button 7 BBLLET.
Yeah, it's just no point in trying to do this.
Line boy 86. It's okay, they won't post again. I get them all the time, it's just a bot.
Clickable Firefox button navigation and traders link commands traders link
yeah,
link time date link channel rewards link preset effect link hotkeys link counters management link effect queues link games.
Yeah, I hate when this happens. Thankfully, I've gotten away without it happening to me previously.
8765 VASL.
But
244 knots distance to destination 25/.
Yeah, this is just super annoying.
MCP speed indicated. Lands 210 2 mag
I need to really focus on this landing now.
244 knots indicated. 243 knots indicated. 243 knots in. 242 knots indicated.
So I can't
242 knots in. 242 knots
be
indicated.
dealing with anything like that right
240
now.
knots indicated. 239 knots indicated. 238 knots indicated. 237 knots indicated. 236 knots indicated. 8513 VAS over 234 knots indicated. 233 knots indicated. 232 knots indicated. 231 knots indicated. 230 knots indicated.
Flaps 1.
1. Flaps 0 left ram door light on right ram door 222 knots indicated. Flaps 0.
Flaps 1.
221 knots indicated. Flaps and transit light on 219 knots indicated. 200. 200. 8336 feet ASL. Spoilers retracted. Speed brake. 7114 feet ag. 220 degrees 2.5 nm. Flaps and transit 1. 259 degrees 5.3 nm. 2 R 200. 201 302 200. 1 302. 210 knots indicated. Minus 492 feet per minute. 8236 feet ASL. 200. 1 259 degrees. 1. 209 knots indicated. 8173 feet ASL. 200. 1. Next waypoint, lost distance, 21 nautical miles, bearing 258 degrees, 5 minutes, 209 knots indicated. 200. 1. Distance to destination, 20/0.
20 miles left.
1.
So
200 R 200.
gonna slow us down even further momentarily.
1 259 degrees, 5.3 nm. 259 degrees, 201 302. 200. 1 R 200.
NAB1 has localizer. Localizer is alive. Runway heading 248.
Localizer.
Distance to destination, 19/0.
That means we'll be able to get into approach mode pretty quickly.
70/16 feet ASL. 200.
Couple more miles and then we'll be able to activate that.
Nav 1 111.50 course 254 hills, light slope angle minus 360.0 degrees, hills /GS cat RW 26L localizer. 200.
Yep, it is the correct ILS approach that we're looking for.
What?
Just not close enough just yet.
Distance to destination 18/0 goal.
Slow the speed down
MCV speed indicated. Land
to
selection.
180 knots.
At RT.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 5.
259 degrees 2.8 nm. 1 bar 200. Flaps 2. 211 knots indicated. 210 knots indicated. 7190 VASL. Flaps 5. 7162 VASL. 1 bar 2. Minus 997 feet per minute. 205 knots indicated. 7028 VASL. 7,000 feet. 200. 1 bar 200. 2 shan 163 slash 4800. 2 free relin 131 2 1 bar. Minus 1024 feet. 6884 VASL. 2 1. Distance to destination 15/0. Nav 111.50 course 254 hills. Glide slope angle minus 360.0 degrees. Hills /GS cat.
Glide slope is
VASL.
alive. NAV1 has glide slope.
Glide slope is alive. We can activate approach
Approach
mode.
580
Nav
left.
light off. Nav light off.
Left 7.
Speed light off. VNAV light off. Approach mode light off. Speed light off. VNAV light off. Approach off.
And we're already fully established on the ILS.
MCV navic. Right approach global. CMDB off crest. CMDB light off. CMDB on. CMDB on. At RT.
So we can just descend now. We're basically now locked onto the ILS of the runway 26 left, which is basically the runway, the runway's radio beacon,
Minus 938 feet per minute.
which helps us stay on track towards the runway and also helps us maintain the correct descent path down to runway 26 left.
1. Minus 1040 feet per minute. 184 knots indicated. Distance to destination 12/0.
So 12 miles to go.
3669 feet. 2 1 shan 1 3604 feet. 2 1 shan 2 relin 1
Line boy 86. I reported the account.
Vision 1418,
Thanks.
contact Las Vegas Tower 109.9.
Over to Tower 199er, Vision 1418.
119. 1. Com 1.
Alright, over to the tower frequency.
Com 1. 119 point. Edit random. 200. 1 shan 1. Distance to destination 10/0. 3338 feet. Gear up. Dot. Gear lever down. No gear transit light.
Vegas Tower,
Center
Vision
tanks,
1418 on final, runway 26 left.
Vision 1418, Las Vegas Tower, runway 26 left, clear to land, the wind is calm.
Go land 26 left, thanks, Vision 1418.
2
Winds calm, that is good. That is very, very nice.
1. Distance to destination 9/179, 171, 164, 162, 5,000 feet, 161, 160.
Reducing the speed even more.
Flaps and transit light off. Flaps extended light off. Flaps 8.
And
Flaps and transit light off. Flaps
flaps.
extended light off. 200.
Here we
Flaps
go.
14. 1 relin 130. 2 1.
We've almost made it.
Distance to destination 8/0.
8 miles to go.
2 1 relin 1 2 1 259. 2 RW 26L 131/22 1 relin 1 259 degrees 1.9 nm 1 relin 1 distance to destination 7/0. 2 1 distance to destination 7/0. 2 Henderson, Nevada, United States 2.1 nautical miles 154 degrees Pacific Standard Time. 2 1
2,500 feet above ground.
distance to destination 6/0.
We're going to slow to our final
154,
approach speed.
148, 144, 139, 135, 134, 133, 132, 4,000 feet, 131.
131 knots.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Roll 5.6 of the Discord log. Forms on main column 2. And in CHK
Landing checklist.
Landing
Red.
checklist.
V-Pilot, Firebox, V-Pilot, Discord log, Microsoft Flight Sim, and
Engine
Microsoft.
start switches.
Continuous.
Speed brake.
Speed radar light.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Set.
Checklist complete.
And with that, we are now fully configured for the
Flight
landing.
attendants prepare for landing.
So it's now fully configured to take us down to the ground onto runway 26 left. And then just
Line boy 86. Seat belts on.
oh yeah, seatbelts are on, for sure. I'm wearing my virtual seatbelt today. Oh yeah, also thanks for reporting this guy. Much appreciated. It's probably a fight against windmills, these spam accounts, but I really do appreciate it. I really don't need that.
3,000 feet.
1,000.
Yep, coming through 1,000 feet. Yeah, that's just because you had to start 3,000 then 1,000. 3,000 is our altitude above sea level.
Blind boy 86.
1,000 is our
no problem.
altitude above
just
ground.
Report, so maybe the bot is banned before finds my
Approaching
channel.
runway
LOL.
26 left.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. There are just way too many of those.
Torrance Ground, Skyhawk 9107 Hotel IFR to San Bernardino, ready to copy.
Good night with 07 Hotel Torrance Ground, clear to San Bernardino Airport on departure. Flight runway heading. Radar vector Seal Beach. Vector 8, Paradise direct. Maintain 3,000, expect 5,000 within 5 minutes. Unable 6,000 for tech routing. Departure frequency 128.1, squawk 6176.
Minimum.
200 above ground.
Thanks. Could you please repeat back to clearance? Thanks.
100. 50. 30.
Speed light off, speed light off.
November 07 Hotel, clear to the San Bernardino Airport via on departure. Flight runway heading. Radar vector Seal Beach. Vector 8, Paradise direct. Maintain 3,000, expect 5,000 within 5 minutes. Unable 6,000 for tech routing. Departure frequency 128.1, squawk 6176.
Yep.
Okay, clear to San
Oh,
Bernardino.
no, I don't crash, man.
To Seal Beach, Victor 8, and PLZ.
And we are down.
3,000,
Flaps go up.
5,000, frequency 128.1, squawk 6176.
Turn off the autopilot.
1418, have a good day.
Vision 1418, thanks. See you as well. Thanks. Alright.
07 Hotel, verify Victor 8 ends at Paradise. Papa, Delta, Zulu. Rest bag is correct.
Correct, Victor 8.
PilotEdge disconnected.
Alright, so basically, this controller already knows that we are a blind pilot, we are unable to taxi. With this in mind, let me mute this. With that in mind, he knows that basically once we touch down on the runway at our destination airport, the flight's done for us. Normally, you would switch to the ground frequency. They would give you taxi instructions to a gate.
Blind
Since
boy 86.
we can't taxi,
yeah, I was gonna ask, does he know about that?
Yeah. So, and that's also the nice thing about PilotEdge. Since that is a proper company, that they have a nice variety of controllers, but they all, they all work under the same kind of like guidance. They all have like shared knowledge about what like certain pilots and certain special things and whatnot, and we're definitely a big exception to their normal procedures. So yeah, they actually know. They know that there are a bunch of us blind sim pilots flying on the network, and they know that we cannot taxi, and so since after landing it wouldn't really make sense for them to give us taxi instructions to a gate. There's basically an agreement made with the PilotEdge staff that once we got down on the runway at the destination airport, we just wish them a nice day and disconnect. And that then concludes the PilotEdge portion of the flight.
That is very cool.
Yep, it is. So we are actually gonna now spawn to a gate here at Las Vegas. It's just gonna be a random whatever gate. Gate 204. Sure, why not? Sounds good. So okay, we're now at that gate. Set the parking brake. And first officer is gonna shut down our engines.
CDU message cleared. Blind boy 86.
Ew.
Well, congrats on another successful flight.
Thanks.
You will have to stream more flights.
Oh man, I really should. It's just time, man. Like, just being like, okay, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna change my audio routing to go to my headset instead of the speakers. I'm gonna Gonna get the stream up and running and stuff. And there's still so much stuff I don't know. Like I really need to look into like the mod actions and stuff, how to quickly and swiftly and effectively get rid of spam bots or anyone else who might be going off the rails in chat. So that is something which I really just need to look into, and maybe we can talk about that as well, since you have way more experience with live streaming than I do. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And it would be nice to build more of a follower base, I guess, on here. Cause yeah, it's just a very interesting and cool thing to do. Right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna connect ground power.
Line boy 86. Totally understand that. Yeah, I am happy to help with whatever.
Yeah, thanks. I would really appreciate that because, again, it's just all this stuff that I don't know about live streaming. So yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Okay, we can shut down the APU now since we have ground power. I'm just gonna, for the sake of realism, open the doors to let our passengers deplane. And we're gonna open the cargo doors as well. Not that it really matters in this case. Oh well. Right, so now I'm going to go to FS Airlines and submit our flight to BVI Virtual. And flight.
Line boy 86. Yeah, I would have to do that for the realism.
Oh yeah, right. It's just. And there are passenger simulation add-ons as well. I'm just not using them right now, just because that just adds another extra bit of complexity, and I just wasn't up for that on this flight. Okay, we made $383,675 on this flight. It's pretty decent. Yeah, so we're done with that. So we'll do the since we're not going to be flying again, at least not right now. We're going to do the secure flow, which is basically getting the aircraft ready to be powered off completely. All the systems are turning off. And now, once that's done, all that I have to do is...
Line boy 86, putting the plane to bed.
Yeah, pretty much. Telling the plane to get some sleep. And we're gonna kill the power.
CDU message displayed. GPS are
That's ground power disconnected.
CDU message cleared.
And now the battery has also been turned off. And everything is so quiet all of a sudden. Crazy. Alright. Well, that pretty much wraps things up for today. Thanks to...
That was awesome, mate.
Thank you.
I will chat to you in a bit.
Yep, I guess we will chat in a bit when we get ready for the race. That will require a whole another level of alertness and being focused from my part, so looking forward to that. In the meanwhile, I'm just going to go and grab some dinner, grab something to drink, and take a deep breath after this first very successful PilotEdge stream. Thanks for being active in the chat. Thanks to everyone else who might have been watching. And yeah, hopefully I'll speak to you soon. See ya.
Line boy 86. Nope. See you on track. Ha ha ha. Enjoy your food. Great job, mate.
Thank you. See you on track.
Stop recording. Check box checked.